Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, July 4th. I can't believe I actually looked up the date. Of course, it's July 4th, 2018. It's MMA Junkie Radio's pre-show, the show before the show. I am Goz. That's Dan Tom. Our site coordinator, Randy, is in the background.
Randy.
Curtis Millender's chilling right here. We're ready to go. We got our pre-show. We're just waiting on George. He'll walk in at any second. But Curtis Millender done fucked up. He talked about fast food and junk food, and he got me going. I'm a little fat kid at heart, and
Aren't we all?
all right, so we talked about Chipotle, and I actually went over this last night. Here's what you do at Chipotle, all right? What do you get, burrito or bowl?
Both. Sometimes both. It depends.
All right, here's what they're worried about. The burrito, they don't want that shit to bust. And with the bowl, they don't want it to spill over. So here's what you do. First thing you got to decide is rice, right? So what do you do, brown or white?
White.
Okay, you go white rice, right? Then they go, what kind of beans do you want? You go, nah, no beans, okay? Now you go to your meats. Do you double
Yeah,
meat?
double
All right,
meat.
you got a double meat,
Chicken
right?
steak.
Okay. Which one do you do, chicken or
I
steak?
take both.
You take both?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't tell them double. Just go steak, all right? So then they're going to go and they're going to get a big scoop and they put it on. As soon as they're done, go, you know what? Man, that shit looks good. Give me double. So then they have to match the first scoop. If you say double from the beginning, they're going to give you like just a little bit, and then they'll match that. So it's like 75-75 versus 100-100. So now you force them to double up on meat. They're always scared about doubling up on meat because they don't want the burrito to break and they don't want the bowl to get full. That's where you go, hold on, before you go that way, them beans do look good. Let's go back. So now they have to put the beans on because before they would load it with beans and give you less meat so it doesn't look right. So now it's right. Then you take care of all the rest of the stuff.
I can't wait. Let me go
Fair
back
trade,
to
right?
Chipotle
Now
next
I know
week.
about what.
That's why I'll be there Wednesday then.
Curtis said some crazy shit, you guys, before we started the show about McDonald's. I don't want to bring it up now because I know George is going to want to know about it too. That's George, by the way.
How you doing, sir?
Right over there in Costa Mesa.
Yep.
George.
George, I got one for you already.
Thank you. Damn, Randy, he steamrolled you.
Coming up in 30.
George looks like Tugboat from WWE.
Oh man.
I'm glad that's on the pre-show.
All right, guys. Coming up.
I got you.
I know I look svelte, but it's actually the stripes.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goz. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goz.
From the fight capital of the world inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me as always is the devious and dastardly Goz. Our ace co-host to my left, it's the fight analyst Dan Tom. Back east, handling all the producing duties, Danny Otto. Our site coordinator, Randy, from San Francisco, making an appearance. And our special guest to start things off is Curtis Millender, who will be fighting at UFC 226 against Max Griffin. What's up, Curtis? How you doing?
I'm great, sir. How you doing?
Good to have you here, man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
How you guys doing? Everything good over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, good.
You have no idea what you're about to walk into.
Uh-oh.
This is the fast food goat right here.
Really?
I tried to drop knowledge on him, dude, and he just slapped the shit out of me.
Really? So he knows secret stuff at In-N-Out?
Okay, you remember Masvidal and his stuff?
Yeah.
There's a third one. You want to explain that third one that you just dropped on me?
The third one is...
You okay talking about food in the middle of a weight cut?
Yeah.
Okay.
He started.
I'll be able to eat in a couple of days. I'll be good.
Somebody's saying you're not okay.
So the land...
Why you got to bring muscle, man? We're good guys here. We're not going to get into it. He's rolling in with his personal bodyguard over here.
Yeah, right? So
yeah.
I gotta keep him around. I gotta keep one around with me.
I shook his hand. He showed me a gun. We have no problems. We have no problems at all. All right, go ahead.
The air, land, and sea burger.
You know what that is?
Where does that exist?
McDonald's.
The air. Okay, I see where you're headed. So fish fillet.
Yep.
Land and sea burger.
Spicy.
What's the air? Chicken fillet in the air.
Yeah, the chicken. Well, yeah, the chicken, and then the like a burger, quarter pounder.
And you tell them that, or you have to order three different things and create it yourself?
Yeah, you order all three, create it yourself.
And you've eaten that?
Yep.
What's it taste like?
It's not bad.
Yeah?
I wouldn't do it all the time, but it was all right.
So you kind of did it to do it?
Yeah.
You're not putting it on the map?
No.
Okay.
No.
Explain the donut thing again.
Oh, the donut thing. So before I go back to training, I have a donut shop, an In-N-Out, and a McDonald's all on the same corner. I'm not a big fan of the In-N-Out fries.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Yeah. I prefer McDonald's fries and the Coke from McDonald's. So
it's $1.
Why is the Coke from McDonald's better than everywhere else?
I don't know.
But did you know
something in it. It's amazing.
McDonald's will only charge you $1 whether you ask for small or large. So always ask for large, and it'll only be $1.
Yep.
That's their policy.
Yep. So I stop. I get 2 glazed donuts from the donut shop.
I'm feeling you.
I go and get a 3x3 protein style from In-N-Out. Go across the street. Get
so
my
with
fries.
the lettuce?
Yeah, just with the lettuce. And then I go and get my fries and Coke from McDonald's. But I eat everything at McDonald's, so it stays.
So why stop with the lettuce? Why not just have the buns? I mean, at that point, you're a savage at that point, right?
I love lettuce.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Well, the lettuce comes in it, though, doesn't it? Or you can ask for it?
No, yeah, you eat the protein salad has more lettuce.
Okay.
So, like.
And does it have to be in that order? Like, I know you finish it and you eat it at McDonald's. Like, what if you went to McDonald's first?
Because the fries, I want my fries to be fresh.
Okay, so that's the reason why. All right.
So.
Damn.
And
Curtis is bringing it.
The donut place, is it a drive-thru or do you have to get up?
No, I got to get out. Yeah, but like that's my spot. I love them. So like I always go out and talk to them for a little bit.
Do they already know when you walk through the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
They know me daily.
Our producer yesterday tried the you might get mad at this. What is it, Danny, that you had?
It's the taco from Taco Bell where it doesn't have the shell, it has fried chicken.
An egg? Oh, yeah, I thought you were to say the egg one.
I didn't really care for that too much.
It was not good. It was not as good as I wanted it to be.
So wait a minute. A chicken patty is your shell?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And
like
then
chicken chalupa or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the egg when it's a shell?
Yeah, that
sounds
that
silly
can't be
too.
an egg, right? What the hell is it?
I don't know. No, I think I don't know. I've never had it. I just thought they were putting us on, you know.
We went on Old School yesterday. I had a Western bacon cheeseburger. You had a Famous Star.
Okay, so I got one for there too. So I get the double Western. I get the double Western, but I don't get barbecue sauce. I get ranch, and I get Swiss cheese instead of American cheese.
They'll do that?
Yeah.
Damn. They don't add a third ingredient called when you're ordering all that extra shit? No?
I keep it real simple.
Yesterday, we went after the MMA awards. We came up short. Junkie Nation, thanks for all your votes. Junkie came up short. MMAjunkie Radio came up short. And John Morgan came up short. But we appreciate your votes. Those that were there in attendance yelling for us, thank you very much. It means the world to us. And we'll at the rally and try and win it in 2018. Yeah. But after the award show, we kind of mingled for a bit. They had an after party. And then we took off and we stopped at Carl's. And I ordered a Dr. Pepper. And the guy gave it to me. And because the rest was still being made, usually I just pull out at that point. I took a sip. I'm like, ooh, this is terrible. So I gave it to him. And he goes, and he was already kind of being a dick, right?
Yeah, it was
the whole time. First he goes, I'll be with you in a second. Took about 2 minutes. I mean, granted, it's midnight. I don't know if he's banging some broad in the back or what. But, all right, I'm a team player. I'll wait. And I go through all that. And I remember ordering a Superstar. He only gave me a Famous Star. I realized that when I was eating it. And because it's the extra patty. And then the whole Dr. Pepper, we must have traded like 3 Dr. Peppers because I kept telling him it's flat. And finally on one of them, he actually emptied out the cup and then did one of those little you know, when you go in there and go, I just want a water, and they give you this little Dixie cup.
Yeah.
He put some in a Dixie cup, tasted it, and then he kind of nodded like, oh, yeah, he's telling the truth. You know? So finally he
thought he gave you Diet Dr. Pepper, right? That's
yeah, I never even heard of that. Have you?
Not really.
Yeah, so then he gave me like 2 more, didn't work, and finally he just gave me a Coke, and I went home with a famous star instead of a superstar, and it had onions and pickles, and I ordered it without.
Yeah, see, I get mine with no tomatoes and no pickles, but I get the fresh baked bun and bacon.
Fresh baked bun and bacon.
Why do you do no tomatoes? Because I'm starting to do that now.
Tomatoes.
You do?
I hate tomatoes.
But you'll have like tomato
I hate
sauce,
onions.
right?
Like just the pure like tomato sauce, and it, like if I make like spaghetti or something, I'll put my own vegetables like.
Because I noticed tomatoes take up a lot of space in the things we love. That's why I've been taking them out of the things we love. Have you noticed that? They're just big, and I don't know. I think
I love tomatoes.
I don't like the texture. Like it's
yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, all
I
right.
used to put them in my pocket. Like when my dad would like still be cooking, he'll give us our food first. I like put them in my pocket and wait until he went back. Wait till everybody was done. I go flush it down the toilet.
I've been hearing more and more people say stuff like, I don't like the texture. Have you ever noticed, like, when it comes to chicks, we don't give a shit about texture. Yeah, like, why all of a sudden we're, this tastes weird. I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day. Like,
all right. Well, Curtis, it's been a great ride to see you go through LFA and then right away into the UFC and instant success. You were the beneficiary of, first of all, your own hard work. So you went in there, you did the job. But what I liked was it all happened quickly. And, of course, you delivered some of your biggest finishes in your career at the right moment. And then over at Thiago Alves, a respected veteran. You know what I'm saying? Like, like there's some Europeans that will be breaking down, and they're like, man, he's 6-1, he's 7-1, because they haven't beaten that guy yet. And even though Alves is in top 10 now, he was at one point, and he's very well respected, and you smoked him. So, I mean, has it all come too quickly, or have you been able to stay grounded and realize, you know, that there's still an uphill climb to get to Woodley or whoever's there when you compete for a world title?
Yeah, definitely. You know, my coach always put in my head that, you know, it's not, the goal isn't getting into the UFC. It's getting in there, staying in there, and being dominant. So my goal is just to keep smashing and keep beating up everybody until I get to Woodley.
Are you better right now than when you beat Alves? In these last 3 months, you've put in some work and learned some new skills, and everything's flowing even smoother?
Yep, learned some new things, worked on the things I was kind of lacking on. And you know,
what were those? Can you say, or is that give away things to get to max?
It's no secret that I'm not the best on the ground.
Okay.
But you don't want me on the ground. I'm getting to the point where my confidence is there now. It's not even that I wasn't good. I've been wrestling for 20-plus years. So my wrestling is there. My ground is there. I just, you know, I got so good at striking, the confidence went away, and the grappling and the wrestling. But it's coming back now. So.
Okay, one more, and I'm not coming at you, all right? But I want to look you right in the eye when I ask you this. When you trained for Alves, you were obviously hungry. You're making your debut, right? Now you're on the scene. You made a little bit of money. Was your camp for this Griffin fight even more intense or just as intense as the one for Alves, or did you let go of the gas a little bit?
I would say probably just the first couple weeks or two getting into camp took a while to, like, press the gas.
Right.
But same intensity, my coaches, my team, we don't mess around.
I love it because your life changes, and it changes for the good on one end, you know, because you're able to reinvest in your career. But I've seen so many people, like, it usually happens with the Ultimate Fighter guys. They arrive, and they're popular, and they're signing autographs, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, only a few of them have been able to break through and then go to the top, and the rest, a lot of them don't, you know. And I always wonder, what about the ones that come in through the regional scene and then kind of like the hard way, you know what I mean? What's their hunger like?
It's still there. I still got to feed these 2 boys. So still got bills, still got rent, still got all that stuff. So the hunger is still there. And, you know, my coaches, they don't let me lack. You know, they're always going to have their foot in my asses and, you know, telling me to work.
So they'll tell you when you had a bad practice?
Yeah.
All right.
What about when you put out hit lists? Does that pull out another gear in you?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Especially when I
see
I've heard of it.
When I seen how long it was, I was like, oh, yeah, I got work to do. So.
Curtis has a T-shirt now with the hit list on the back of it. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Can anybody buy that?
Yeah, it's Uchenna's Ikanga sportswear.com. It's available.
Do you still have it on your phone, the picture?
Yeah.
So George could see it? I thought it was pretty dope.
Let's see it. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to ask you a question, too. I walked in here thinking, yeah, man, he's from the IE, and I think he trains in the OC, SoCal all day, and you're wearing a Yankee hat. What happened there?
I used to play for the for the Yankees for like Little League team, so it's always stuck with me.
Right, but when you came home, you didn't watch the Dodgers or the Angels? You didn't go to those stadiums?
I didn't even play after I got hurt so much playing baseball.
Yeah.
Growing up, I just admire how they spend their money now. I don't want to.
Were you on the field or were you one of the flagpoles?
No, I played.
That's
outfield.
a tall joke.
I played outfield, of course. They put me in the outfield.
Yeah. Did you have a gun?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
You had to have 3 cutoffs just to make it to second base?
Yep.
All right. Well, he's honest, right?
Yeah. How'd you get injured so much?
I either got hit with the ball, got hit with the bat. Like
a bat?
Yeah.
Fight?
But
No,
you're
nah,
the one swinging the bat. How did you get hit?
No,
with the bat?
so the bat was my brother. We were he wouldn't let me pitch to him, so he wanted to throw the ball up and hit it, and I was the only one with a bat because they all wanted gloves, new gloves and stuff, because they would lose their gloves. So he swung the bat, and I tried to like take it from him.
Oh,
Right in the head.
Damn. Did
Yeah.
that do any damage at
Yeah,
the
I
time?
had to get stapled. I had to get stitches.
Shit.
Probably the best spot, though. You don't want it here.
Yeah.
You don't want it here, you know, and
Yeah,
the
it was
lower you
like
get, I mean,
right,
I guess.
right above the eyebrow.
Damn. And then you got hit with the ball too?
Yeah, right in the eye.
I had a
Eye
couple
was swole
of
up.
those. Oh, right in the eye?
Yeah,
Like Kirby Puckett?
yeah, it was bad.
Shit. How bad did it get?
It was pretty swollen. Like the whole eye was closed. Like couldn't see out my right eye for a couple of days until the swelling went down.
Could you say some of maybe your worst head injuries came from baseball, not
Oh
MMA?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Curtis, tell me about your team a little bit. You know, people are just starting to get to know you. We know all about you, but tell me, like, your Monday through Friday, who's working with you on each specific day, or who you want to give some love to, because it's a team that builds the fighter, and of course, you know, you're the one that has to put in the work, but you, I'm sure you trust them, you know.
Oh yeah. I think my most valuable teammate, Jacob Rosales, he actually just fought Friday night Bellator. Super proud of that kid, dude. He's just been working so hard and grinding so hard, and just, I can't wait for everybody else to be able to see him. That Bellator keeps putting him in the super main event, where the dark, yeah. So you know, he's had like 3 fights, amazing fights where nobody's been able to see, and this kid, he's coming. And then I have another kid, Youngyu Choi. I've actually been training with him since he was like in the 7th grade. Like this kid's been in my training camp since he was in the 7th grade. 45er, tall, rangy. He does everything I do just from southpaw. Like I've been like molding this kid. I was his wrestling coach in high school. Like he's actually gonna have his first amateur fight next Sunday. So really excited to see him, and just everybody over at CSW. Everybody's working hard. The intensity our coaches have us working at is just it's next to none.
It's like walking around the fight capital of the world.
Oh, it's fun. I love this.
Yeah.
I love being out here. Fight week is always fun. I like taking the pictures. I like talking to everybody. It's fun.
You're a younger cat, though. When you walk around, like for us growing up, when we walk into Caesar's Palace, we're like, this is where Sugar Ray fought Hagler. You know, like what are things that you remember from the fight game here in Las Vegas?
I think my first fight here was, I want to say it was when Rampage fought Matt Hamill. That whole card that just got like beat up and you know, torn to shit. But I met.
Do you have a picture like how Connor had one with Chuck Liddell and he's all young? Like,
No,
do you have one of
see,
those?
I'm that guy that like I never would want to go and take pictures with the fighters.
No.
I'm like, oh no, just let him do his thing. Like it's
You're
it's
being
already
courteous.
a line. Yeah, like it's already a line. He's probably hungry. He wants to go do his thing. So I would never go and take pictures with guys, and I always regretted that too. But like it would be some guys, if I seen like, no, I'm gonna get my picture. Like with Floyd, I would have to. If I would have seen like John Jones or somebody like that, I'm like, nah, I need to get that picture. But I was always like, nah. He already has a line. It's a bunch of people waiting. So
4 of your last fights have ended in KO. Now you have 6 of your 15 wins, 6 are KO. Most of them were by decision. What happened in the last year or two where you're just smoking people?
I met this guy named Ben Jones, and he has turned me into a savage.
Okay.
My new head coach, he is the man. He is. It was it was already, you know, the tools were already there. I just needed somebody to like tune them and, you know, put the more intensity into it, and he did that.
Was it just physical things he was teaching you, physical techniques, or was it mental? Did he get in your head about, you know, having more confidence and executing, using those tools.
Yeah, definitely the execution, the confidence.
What do you say to you? Do you remember?
There's just little things he says, like before we go fight, like a hot knife through butter, like just the little things like that. It's like, okay, yeah, nobody is gonna be able to. I think it was before. I want to say it was when I fought Frinku, right? Yeah. Oh, and the slap too, the pre-fight slap. that works. That wakes me up. That's the hardest I've been hit in the last 5 fights, anyway. So, but I believe it was right before we walked out to fight Frinku. He told me, he was like, if I told you everything you wanted to get to the big show, all you had to do was go out there and perform right now, and I did it.
Does the pre-fight slap always come at the same time, or does it
always
kind of
right
mix
before
it
we
up
get
a
in
little
the
bit?
cage?
Like it's the last thing?
Yeah, you know it's gonna come.
Yeah,
it's
you
the
gotta
last thing. He's gonna
mix
tell
it
you to
up a
bite
little bit.
down, and then you know it's coming.
That's awesome.
You know, who was it? Inoki, right? He would do that. He would slap people, but his was weird, man. And he did it to Machida. He would slap you, and then backhand you, and then slap you and backhand you. That was the weird shit. But they thought it was like it's a big honor for him to do that to you.
His hand was jacked up. Like the last few months, so the guys that have been fighting lately, like that's how they've been getting the slap and the backhand because
I don't know why the slap I would be okay with. For some reason, the backhand I wouldn't like. I don't know why.
Machida slapped you. How was
he
that?
slapped me, and that's why because he's a champion, so it's an honor to get it from a champion. And so he slapped me. It was a good one. It was a Rick James slap. But I thought he was gonna do the backhand too, so that's why when he did it, I kind of went. Because I thought the other one was going to come, but he only did one. So
I've only been slapped by Rampage because he does it when you take a photo with him. It's not too bad, so I don't have no street cred when it comes to slaps.
You ever been slapped by a girl?
By a girl? No.
Never?
No.
You never had a drink thrown on you or been slapped?
Wow.
Man, you're courteous.
You're a good guy.
I'm courteous, yeah.
I've had that.
You have?
Yeah, a few times.
How many times? Both of them?
Not the drink. I'd be really upset if I got a drink thrown on me, but like a slap, yeah. I'm like, every time I've deserved it though. So
yeah, tell that story.
Yeah.
Why'd you get slapped?
Let's just say it
came on with glitter on your face. Should have been at
It
practice
was
instead. You were at the
situation
Rhino.
like that. Let's put it like that. I was definitely doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Was there a good pop on it? Did it make that noise?
It was actually like a few. So like she actually like just beat me up. Kind of.
Okay.
Not like beat me up, but it was like I got hit a couple times.
Yeah.
My mom had to come save me.
So check this out, man. Griffin had a good fight in his last fight. You know what I mean? But that's what makes this fight so compelling. Like two guys on a nice trajectory. I mean, what are your thoughts on Griffin and the matchup?
Good matchup. I think it's better favored for me. I just see a lot of holes and a lot of things that he does wrong, and I'm gonna expose him. Like everything he does wrong, it's gonna get me 50,000.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just I get the pick. I got this toolbox. I brought everything with me, and I'm just as soon as he gives me an opening, as soon as I see a tool I need, I'm gonna pick it out and hit him with it.
All right, Dan, what you got for Curtis Millander?
I was just.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I was turned down there. I was just going to say just about Max, though. As I've heard you talk about other opponents, we've had you on the show before, obviously through the phone. But, you know, you have a really good perspective when you're talking about your opponents and stuff. And as far as Max, you know, George said you turned the corner, which is very true. I think anybody who's been watching you and following you knows that. But you could argue the same for Max. Is there anything that you see that he does well? Obviously, you can't maybe reveal the things that, you know, you just alluded to that you want to take advantage of. But is there anything that you see that he does well or
the one thing I see he does well is probably just that fade back to the cross to the two, but I do that well too.
Right.
So that's the one thing, and he's probably has the strength advantage maybe, but he's not gonna be able to use it.
And just following up on that, I mean, you never want to look too far ahead, but, you know, I'm sure you're watching these fights, especially, you know, the players that are in your division. Do you ever find yourself kind of scouting or making notes like, oh, that guy's pretty good. Oh, I think I can get him down the road, or is there anything like that? And are there any of those names come to mind?
Ponzinibbio. I wanted to call out the winner of Perry and Maderos, but
okay.
You know, had that unfortunate accident happen. So, but anybody, like I said, I got a hit list, and is long, so anybody on that list can get it.
All right, so on the way in, I walked by. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but these are the odds on the fight. Gaming is very popular in all sports, and it's starting to pick up in MMA. Have you ever bet on a fight? It's not. Don't think you might get in trouble by saying yes. It's legal for an MMA fighter to bet and to bet on themselves. Obviously, the only thing that you would never do is bet against yourself. So, speak freely is what I'm trying to say.
I never bet on a fight.
Okay.
Well, not official, like with friends and stuff. Yeah, but I've always wanted to. The only thing is, I'm such a fanboy when it comes to fighting. I'd rather just watch the fights.
Gotcha. All right. Well, they have you. Go ahead.
I've been telling people that I just got asked that this morning what my parlay was, and I'm very tempted to tell people this card is so much fun. Maybe don't even bet it. Just sit back and enjoy it. Because a bet might actually ruin what could be just a really fun time watching this. And I rarely say that. It's only the really big cards where I just say, you know what, just chill and just watch it.
Yeah, that's not bad. You're the favorite, so the experts that make the lines have taken into consideration your toolbox, Griffin's toolbox, but there's also one last component, is the popularity of each fighter, and then sometimes people are just going to bet Connor just to bet him, you know what I mean, or whatever. So you want to know what they are?
Yes, sir.
All right. Curtis Millender minus 175. That means I got to walk up there. If I want you to win, I got to walk up there and go, give me just on the fictitious $100 bet. Here's 175 of my dollars, and then I got to wait. And if you win, I collect that back plus 100 because you're the favorite. With Griffin, if I liked him, I'd go, here's my $100. If he wins, I get my 100 back plus 145. So he's the underdog. So it's a bigger payout if he wins. It's a lesser payout if you win. But per what the odds makers are saying, I have a better chance with you because you have the better toolbox per se. So that's how it works. So you're a slight favorite. Any thoughts on gaming? Are you being the favorite or anything like that?
They got it right. They definitely got it right. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
that's about it, right? That's awesome. That's every fighter we ask who's the underdog goes, I love being the underdog. I'm like, fuck, I'd never like being the underdog because that means someone's saying the other guy's gonna kick my ass, or there's a good chance he kicked my ass. But I guess that's all you can say, right? If you're the underdog,
definitely prefer to be the favorite every time. But it doesn't matter where you put me, underdog or the favorite. I'm gonna come out and do what I got to do. And
that doesn't surprise me because I like Curtis's attitude. One of the times we had John before, I don't know if it was me or George. One of us asked you about Jimmy Smith's commentary, I believe, in Bellator, one of your fights, and it wasn't the most kindest. You were early in your career. It was one of your losses, sure, but you've come so far from that. Obviously, anybody who's followed you, and I remember asking you about that, and you were so cool about it. You're like, I didn't take it personal. I took it, the motivation. You let it feel you the way you should as a fighter, and I think the results speak for themselves. Is that kind of how you just kind of try to take everything?
Oh yeah, of course. It's awesome too because Jimmy actually called my fight for my debut in
awesome, yeah.
And I told him in their interviews, like, yo, don't make me sound like a bitch this time. we talked about it and we laughed. Even after I won, I went up to him. I told him, I was like, I told you, like, it's a different Curtis. I even seen him the other day too, and it's definitely nice to see how far I've come. And the guys that were there in the beginning and have seen the growth, it's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you think we're professional in what we do in our job?
Oh yeah.
I want you to know how hard my job has been today. Turn around and look behind you.
Oh wow.
And I've been trying to focus on you, but I ain't gonna lie. If it looks like I'm asking you questions like this,
yeah, we're good, man. Have a nice fight. No, listen, one more thing. We always ask the in-studio guests if they can share a good street fight story. Can you share a good street fight story with us?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be yesterday in Barstow or nothing like that. Like something from the past.
There is my number one sponsor in downtown Fullerton's restaurant, JB23.
All right.
And every now and then, this is probably about 3 or 4 years ago. This is the last time I've hit somebody outside of a gym.
Okay.
And I go into the bar. It's a pretty nice sized restaurant and short on security. So one of the guys was like, yo, just look out for us. I was there hanging out, partying. I wasn't really drinking or anything. So I'm like, yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Security asked you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a regular.
Yeah, I'm a regular.
Okay.
I'm there all the time. And I'm in the area where the front door is. I'm hanging out, and I see at the front door, big Mexican dude, like 6'4", huge. Supposed to be scary. Okay, this dude's supposed to be the man at the door. And I look out, and I see like a group of guys talking to like 6 white dudes, smaller guys. I'm like, oh, they look like they're just talking to him about getting in. So I look out, see it doesn't really look too crazy. I'm like, all right, whatever. Look over again, and like these dudes are just like climbing on him, like beat him up. So I'm like, oh shit. So I go outside, start peeling them off. I didn't hit anybody yet. I'm just peeling them off, like, yo, back up, go home, go home. And then one dude like grabs a single on me. I'm like, oh, what the hell? So I like just wizard and pushed him off, and like just gave him like a little uppercut. Not even hard, just like tapping him and get him off. I'm like, yo, like you guys need to go home, go home, go home. And they're still trying to fight. Now it's 2 more guys. So now it's 8 of them. And so on the front door, it's just out. You can't come in through there. You can just go out. So the main door, it's another security guard. This dude, big black dude, Green Mile. This dude's huge. So, he comes, like he hears the commotion, so he comes just like charging and just blasts the whole group, like knocks everybody everywhere. So now there's 2 guys that go around the corner where, so there's a dance floor and there's big windows where you can see out on the street, just like this. And I'm up against the wall. And one of my old coaches used to always tell me, like, yo, if you get into altercation, like on the street, like make sure like your back is against the wall, make sure it looks like you're in danger, you know. So I do it even when I'm sparring in the cage. I rub my heel on the wall to see where I was. Like, yo, look, I'm up against the wall now. So I have my hands up. I'm like, yo, you guys, it's 2 of them. It's like, you guys need to go home, get out of here. They're like, no, fuck that, we'll get you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, go home. And the smallest dude, I don't know why it's always the smallest dude. Smallest dude walks up, and I say, yo, just go home. Hey, he takes 1 more step, and he's out before he even hits the ground. Everything stops. Like, all of his boys are looking like, oh, shit, what happened? And I just walked back in and went in, like, into the, like, on the dance floor, just looking out. Like, all the cops are there now. He's still, like, on the ground. Like,
and what do you remember, did they ever leak why the problem even started?
I think they were just, the dudes were just drunk trying to get in through that door. Like, I guess he wouldn't take the money.
Oh.
Yeah, he was, like, big and useless. I don't even understand, like, what
wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So you tried. You were courteous the whole time, but then when shit got real, boom.
Yeah, I'm not even a fan of, like, when people are like fighting. Like, if I'm at a bar or a club or something, and somebody's fighting, it just turns the whole mood off. Like, I don't even want to be around it. Like, first off, you guys are fighting for free. Like, I've broken both hands in fights, and just seeing the bill, like, I didn't have to pay the bill, but seeing the bill for that stuff, I'm like, man, like, if you guys don't got insurance and you break your hand out there, like, it's just not. And then it's all these women around. Why do you want to fight in this?
Exactly. Chase tail, man. Have fun. Have a drink. All right. You can follow Curtis on Twitter at Courteous Curtis. He is fighting at UFC 226 on Saturday versus Max Griffin. Check it out. It's going to be a barn burner of a fight. These are both 170 pounders. Curtis 13-5 overall. Curtis, thank you very much for coming to the studio. It's been great getting to know you through the regional scene, and now you're doing your thing in the UFC, man. Congrats. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. We're going to take a break here. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back with UFC Octagon girl Jhenny Andrade, who took home her 2nd consecutive Ring Card Girl of the Year trophy last night. So she'll be in here with in studio. We'll be right back.
It looks like
The photo bomb.
Charm, compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Oh boy, I gotta find a read right quick. You send them, Danny?
I did.
And now the hell with the read. We got Jhenny Andrade here in studio. She's coming off her second consecutive Ring Card Girl of the Year award. She won it last night at the World MMA Awards. She's a UFC Octagon girl, obviously, and she's a great friend of the show. Welcome back, Jhenny Andrade, and congrats on your award last night.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here again, and I'm so happy with the award. And I love what I do. Do you know?
Well, yeah, you said that in your speech.
Yes.
Your English is always getting better, but to go up there in front of everybody and speak calmly, because I could tell you were very emotional, you were very happy, and then you composed yourself.
Yes.
And then you said very nice things about the sport, your career, and that was great.
I was nervous yesterday, but now I'm good now. But when I'm back to Brazil, I don't speak English, only Portuguese, and so many works to do. And now I'm studying again. I'm studying marketing digital.
Marketing, digital marketing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I need training more my English.
Well, like I said, we're very happy for you. And I mean, you do a great job, and I can tell you really love the UFC. You really love MMA. When you watch the fights, you're paying attention, you know, and you know who the fighters are. So that's cool, man. I do want to say this. For those of you that didn't go last year, and Goes and I have been guilty of this, so I don't want to speak out of both sides of my mouth. Strongly consider going the following year, because I felt real good about going regardless of whether we won or not. I think it's just a moment in the MMA industry that is great, that Fighters Only goes out there and puts their best effort forward. And you need to support it, because that's the only way the sport's going to go. You have a chance to make up for it in 2 days at the UFC Hall of Fame ceremony. Go, because Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremony is really, really, I believe it's a huge moment every year, you know, out in Canton, Ohio. I think the WWE does an excellent job with theirs as well. I think MMA has room to grow to get to those ceilings, but you got to get out there, and you just got to put your personal thoughts on the sport, or you know, some people hold a lot of, I guess, they have bad vibes towards the sport, you know, like, but the sport also gave you something, so give back to it and go. So I do want to commend Fighters Only for yet again a spectacular night.
Well, they could put that in a smaller venue if they wanted to. They didn't have to make it black tie. There's a lot of things that they probably could hold back on, but they go that extra mile to make the show look as good as it does. You know, they have guest performers and some of the celebrities that come out. That's pretty big to have Jeremy Piven host the show, so I think the least we can all do is show up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I had a good time. Did you have a good time for the whole night, aside from winning the award?
Yesterday, yes, the big show. I like to present it to the Journalist of the Year. It's so special to me.
What was your favorite part of the night? First Jhenny and then Goes.
Oh my God.
Aside from winning the award.
Oh my God.
That's an easy one. Presenting?
Maybe
Did you like
presenter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goes?
I thought it was really cool that they honored some of the servicemen.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was fun to mix that a little bit, but I think the highlight was Big John McCarthy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
just
I
because
think so.
From the very beginning, you know,
Yeah.
of the UFC, you get to see pictures of him, how young he looked, and all the things that he's done. A lot of people know Big John as a referee, and he was a referee. That's probably what he's most famous for. But really, he fought for a lot of things for the UFC to get the rules, to get it sanctioned across the United States of America. So it meant a lot to me to see him up there, and I was very happy that he got that.
I like seeing Brian Ortega go up there and receive his award, as well as Francis Ngannou. Those guys are fighting on Saturday. Today's Wednesday, but they still made the time to go up there and receive their awards, and they gave great speeches, man. That's pretty cool to see. I remember Rashad Evans also won an award on a Thursday night, and he was fighting on a Saturday. So he was probably in the middle of a weight cut, like the serious drop of the weight cut. You know what I mean? And he still went out there, and he won his fight. It was against Thiago Silva at the MGM. I wish the fighters would there would just be a little bit more of a representation. You know, Dominic Cruz won an award. He's in San Diego. That's an hour flight. Rose Namajunas won 2 awards. She's in Denver. I believe that's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half flight. Demetrius won an award, and he's about a 2-hour flight in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different, maybe. Demetrius is also in camp for an August 4th fight, so I get it. That's probably what makes him great, is he's able to block things out. But Rose wasn't in camp, and Dominic's not in camp, and they're big names. They have to, I mean, I wish they realized how much their presence it would mean to the fans, to the award show, to the sport. You know what I mean? So
yes, yes.
I hope they reconsider next year.
I live in Brazil, and I come to only the MMA awards.
And Robert Whittaker was going to come. I heard he really was going to come.
15 hours, my flight.
Your flight?
Yeah.
Wow. Direct? No, right? You have to stop.
Yes, yes. No, not now. Direct.
Sao Paulo to Vegas?
Yes, a new flight.
Wow.
Yes, nice.
It's
First
15
time.
hours from there?
Yeah.
Direct. 12 hours.
Direct is 12
hours. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
First time the new flight. Nice. I like.
You excited? Brazil in the World Cup?
Oh yes, I think Brazil is win.
Who's your favorite player?
Neymar?
Yes.
He's
Neymar.
your friend, right?
Yes, I think so.
After Neymar, though.
Felipe Coutinho is good too.
Yeah?
Yes, Felipe Coutinho.
Okay. They play Belgium when? Friday?
I don't know.
Quando
yes, Friday with Belgium.
Belgium.
Yes.
Where are you going to watch?
I don't know. At Monday I watch on Aria, and at Friday I don't know yet.
Does anybody know the time?
When?
A qué hora?
Let's see.
11.
11 a.m.
11 here, and 3 p.m. at Brazil.
Okay. That's a tough game, man. Belgium's really good, but so is Brazil. Belgium almost got knocked out. They were losing 2-0 to Japan, and they came back and won 3-2.
Japan is good too.
11 a.m.
And congrats to England last night. Last night in Russia, but yesterday England won on penalties. England has never won in the World Cup in penalties, and they overcame. What did he play?
Colombia.
Colombia. That's right. They overcame Colombia. Colombia had made their first 3 penalties. England had made 2 out of 3, and then they came back and were able to put them all in, and Colombia missed a couple. So England advances. Now, England one time in the European Championships, they did win their penalties, but that's the only time in the history. So they literally are snake bit goes, and they got over it. England hasn't won the World Cup since 1966.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, nice. So it's been a long time, and the English journalist friends that we have, they were super happy, and the World Cup's great, isn't it?
Yes, I like so much. I love.
And there's a lot of people that are just going out of the way to hate on it, and I don't get it because I think it's impossible to hate. It's just a fabulous event.
Yes.
Every 4 years. What's the big deal?
No idea. I don't know, but I see it. I think people just like to hate on anything.
I suppose. Yeah. Hate is like you make a post, but then when you make like 10 posts, like within a month, I think you really, really don't like it. And you're trying to get other people to not like it, but try and convince 4 billion people, 4 out of 7.5 billion people, not to watch it.
I watch the
not
Olympics.
all the events.
I watch a good majority of them, but I don't watch it. Like I don't watch the regular events, the sprinting throughout the year, but I'll watch them at the Olympics. I think soccer should be the same.
What's your team?
My team in soccer?
Yeah.
For national or regular? Regular, Manchester United.
Oh, okay.
And then national, well, our mom is from Peru. Our dad is Mexican. We were born in the United States, so we root for
3
those
teams.
Wow.
Jhenny, what's the sports like as far as for Brazilian girls popularity? Like, if you had to say top 3 sports that Brazilian girls are into.
Oh, Muay Thai first.
Okay, all right.
Muay Thai.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
First over soccer?
The girls?
Yeah.
Yes. Muay Thai and the 3 sports. Soccer.
Okay.
And then
Is it the one with Brazil in the name? Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu,
Yeah,
yes.
you think so? Really?
And do you know Zumba? Dancey.
No, show us.
Like a sport, yeah.
Zumba.
Zumba is a kind of music to dance. Wow!
Danny,
Do you have Zumba? Do you have Zumba music, Danny?
just go on your iPad.
I'll tell you.
At the gym,
buy him some time there for
the
that.
class of the Zumba.
If we find Zumba music, you'll dance?
Me?
Yeah. Yeah?
I like to dance.
Okay. All right, let's take a quick commercial. Like Daniel for 3 minutes to find Zumba music. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM, Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. Hopefully with some Zumba.
Kill him! Hold on, Mom. Here George and goes.
If you play fantasy sports, Sirius XM has a channel just for you. Listen to Fantasy Sports Radio to hear expert advice from the top fantasy baseball and fantasy football analysts. Whether you need help setting your fantasy baseball lineup or you want to know who the breakout players in fantasy football will be this season, the place to be is Sirius 210, XM87, and streaming on your phone or at home on Sirius XM connected devices and speakers.
I can't believe we've never thought of this. We've been here, what, like 10 times? We've never thought of this.
Okay, is this Zumba?
Yes.
Okay, now be careful with the cord there. There you go.
Yeah, this is Zumba. Oh my god.
For listeners, Jhenny Andrade is demonstrating Zumba.
It's the 2-time ring
And
card
having
girl
a
of the
laugh
year.
Despite being mic'd up, she's doing very well.
Jhenny, we can't see you. Can you face us? Let's see you.
Never been Zumba.
Yeah, I can't do
30
that.
seconds,
Oh
come,
no.
Some people are. Oh, maybe that was rude. All right.
Go then.
Yeah, hey, Dan, stand on this side though.
Go, go, go.
Do the 180. Do the 180. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, like, okay, now, here, I'll dance with you.
The Brazilian girls
You turn around.
love Zumba.
You turn around. Okay, I'll dance here. This is on a bad knee too.
They good workout.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job. Yeah.
Good.
That was really, really
Nice.
good. All right. Now you know why she is so popular, and her fans voted for her for the Ring Card Girl of the Year. So now you got 2 trophies. Where did the trophies go at home?
Sorry?
Su trofeo en casa, onde vai ficar? Su trofeo.
With my bed. My bed?
Oh, your bed.
Yes.
Your bed?
Yes.
Next to the bed?
My bed, and I put here.
Ah.
And do lado.
Yeah. So basically on her nightstands.
Yeah.
Yes.
One on each side now.
Yes.
What happens if you win 3?
Woo. Maybe with me. I love you.
Tim Sylvia ring girls over there with their trophies.
I don't have boyfriend. Oh my God, I love you.
You have to give him a name. The name for each one. There.
Yes.
What name?
I don't know the name.
Yes, there we go.
Are you going to the fights this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tough finale on
Tough
Friday.
finale, yes, at Friday.
UFC 226 Saturday.
Yes, and Saturday.
Hall of Fame? Are you going to the Hall of Fame?
Yes,
Yeah?
I go.
Okay.
Yes. Tomorrow.
That's great participation.
And
yeah.
today I go to the pool party of the UFC.
Oh, are you
Red Rock?
Red Rock. Okay, so you'll be part of the UFC Ring Card Girls there?
Next Saturday, next weekend, no. Just
Pool party?
Yes, pool party.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fan Expo?
Fan Expo, and I will. I am at VIP experience to stay with the fans, take a pictures, videos, and meet the guys.
Are you gonna dance Zumba at the VIP experience?
No.
only Junkie Radio?
Maybe if Borrachinha, do you know? Maybe if Borrachinha entry with the music, Brazilian music.
Yeah. So there you have it. The only place that Jhenny Andrade will dance Zumba is at MMA Junkie Radio.
Yes, only place, first
like
time.
Who do you think's gonna win, Miocic or Cormier?
Cormier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna win, Max Holloway or Brian
Max
Ortega?
Holloway.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
What about Francis Ngannou or Derek Lewis?
Gano.
Ngannou?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Borrachinha.
And Borrachinha. He fights Uriah Hall. That's gonna be, man, it is a deep card, isn't it?
Borrachinha is so
a lot of
good
MMA.
guy now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the eraser they call him.
Sorry?
Su sobrenome é Eraser.
Racer.
Eraser.
Eraser.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think that's what Borrachinha means
Oh, okay.
in English.
English.
Yeah.
Oh,
What you say?
I was gonna say it sounds like baracho, right? But that's different.
Borracho?
That's alcoholic in Spanish.
Well,
right?
borrar is in Spanish is erase.
Yeah.
So I imagine that Borrachinha is
Little rubber, right? Little rubber.
Yes, little. Yes, little.
because
your
Borrachinha
name?
Hey, you leave me out of this, Jhenny.
It's small.
because because Borrachinha
Get that drop, Daddy. Get that drop.
Sorry, my English.
Nah, I'm just happy you weren't looking at me when you said that. You said small, you were looking that way. I was looking here, so I'm okay.
I forgot what I was saying.
Borrachinha.
Borrachinha. Oh, borracho is drunk, right?
No.
When,
Drunk?
yeah, when you drink and you're
Oh.
drunk. Qual é isso?
Borrachinha?
No. Inglês, drunk. Quando você consome muito álcool.
Okay.
Sim. Qual é em português? Drunk. Borracho.
No.
Quando um homem bebe muito, você diz, você é borracho.
Ressaca.
Ressaca?
Ressaca.
No, that's the next day. That's hangover.
Hangover. Oh, okay. When I drunk. Borracho?
Borracha em português.
Bêbado.
I'm pretty sure I've been called borracho when I've been in Brazil.
I'm
So that's why I
bêbado.
think that's what it is. But all right,
I'm bêbado.
all right. Well, we'll figure it out. All right. Well, Jhenny, congratulations again. Thank you for coming by MMA Junkie Radio. I hope you have fun all week at the VIP experience,
Yes.
at the Fan Expo, and of course at the fights. And hopefully we'll see you throughout the week.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Good to see you again.
Congratulations.
You
Thank
too.
You.
Now, Jhenny can be followed on Twitter at Jhenny UFC. That's JHENNY UFC. And also give her a follow on Instagram.
Just one end, no?
You'll thank me later. What's that?
Vinc is one end, no?
No, 2 ends in
Was
Jhenny
it?
Andrade, yeah.
I'll be back to Las Vegas 1 August to Super Contest.
Football.
Football.
Yes.
Yeah. You hear that, Sammy the Squid? She's in the Super Contest. You got to get back in it. Sammy the Squid has played in it many years. He took last year
we met
off.
another squid last night.
I know, we did, yeah. All right, folks, we are going to be coming back in the second hour in just a few seconds. Stay close.
Congratulations.
All right, it's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Big thanks to Jhenny Andrade for stopping by, and congratulations again to her for her second consecutive Ring Card Girl of the Year award at last night's World MMA Awards, the 10th annual World MMA Awards. Fighters only, shout out to you guys. That is not an easy event to put together, and you know, you've now done 9. The first one was done through the magazine only, so last night was the 9th award show. However, it's the 10th time awards have been doled out. So I do want to give a shout out to you guys. Now, obviously, if we were to recap the event or review the event, there's some things, obviously, that show, just like any other show, could always improve on. But I think we'll say that for another occasion, because we have just a lot of things to cover. And we've got a lot of guests all week as well. Excuse me?
We want to do it justice, too.
Exactly. There's no sense in rushing through it. We are expecting a call from Anthony Pettis. And Danny, you'll let me know when he comes in?
I will.
All right.
Do we still have that one caller on hold?
We do.
Let's take him. I think it's Rodney in Las Vegas. What's up, Rodney? How you doing?
Doing good, fellas. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Hey, I saw y'all enter the red carpet last night, and then you snuck away like some ninjas, and I didn't get to. But John Morgan wasn't so lucky. I tracked him down, and I wrangled him back. I wanted to tell you guys congratulations on the nod, and happy for you.
Thank you very much, Rodney.
Thanks, Rodney.
If you guys haven't seen John Morgan's red carpet, you gotta. I don't know if it got posted or not, but it was pretty hilarious.
Was it a video? I saw a picture. Was there a video too?
Yeah, there's
already
a video
posted?
of it. I don't know. There's a video on someone's phone. I don't know if it's been posted though.
I just posted a video on my Twitter. Rodney James 138 is my interview with him. Yeah, he's such a savage. He came out on the red carpet with a beer. He was the only guy that did that. I give him much respect for that.
The man.
That sounds like John. You know what happened, Rodney? I remember we went out there and we had to take some photos, and then they just guided us down the middle aisle. Not by choice. I've never walked the red carpet for the award show.
Yeah, you have.
I think I've done it at the end when we received an award. But I don't think I've ever done it on the way in. Have I?
We did it one time.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did. Sorry. So I was just going wherever they were telling me. I wouldn't purposely avoid anybody. But I did see that pic, so I thought that was pretty cool. You're always out there hustling. I saw you at Bellator and then last night. So continued success for you as well.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's good. It's been good to see y'all, man. This is an awesome week. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. So hopefully I'll see y'all around, man. I'm heading over to Open Workouts here in a little bit. So
right on, brother.
Other than that, man, have a good week.
Okay.
Hope to see you around easy, man.
See ya. All right, guys. As we still continue to wait for Anthony Pettis to call in. By the way, yet another great fight that's lined up. He's fighting Michael Chiesa, man, and that's going to be a barn burner. Those guys were supposed to fight in Brooklyn, but because Chiesa was one of the guys that got cut from that dolly thrown by Conor McGregor, that fight never happened. Pettis was one of the guys that was asked to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov because, if you'll recall, Max Holloway, who was stepping in for Tony Ferguson, Max Holloway was deemed unable to continue his weight cut, so he wasn't able to compete for a world title that night. So
I completely forgot that happened.
Yeah, guys like Pettis were considered. Chiesa stated that he would have been considered as well. Iaquinta, wound up fighting him, but I think Felder threw his name in the hat because he weighed in on purpose at 155, so he definitely was in the running. But in the end, it was Iaquinta. And so now what they did is, since Pettis didn't fight that night and Chiesa didn't fight that night, they just said, take a few days off, come back and fight at UFC 226. So that's that.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
How are you guys? All right, we're at Wednesday. Where are you at? Where are your brains?
I was tired yesterday. I was telling Mom I don't wear dress shoes often because of my knee. I just need better stability that I get with tennis shoes, So that's just, I wear a lot of tennis shoes, honestly. And so my dogs were barking, Goes. I can't lie to you. They were barking.
Like Del Griffin?
Oh, yeah. And so I was trying to hang in there. That's why every once in a while I was trying to just find a spot to sit down and chill. But there was so many people to say hello to and all that. But
I just didn't like the
that was the first time I wore those shoes as well. So what do you want from me? Just don't wear dress shoes very often. And yeah. But I'm still glad I went. And I had a good time. I'll tell you what, while we wait for Pettis, why don't we do the daily debate? Are you free, Dan? Are you
let's do it.
All right, let's do it right now then. This is our daily debate question for the day. And thank you all for participating. So the UFC is going to use the small cage at the TUF 27 finale. That's 25 feet across. And the big cage for UFC 226 on Saturday, that's 30 feet across. Now, it's basically, what I've been told, 33% less real estate that the fighters have to operate. Also, I read a book years ago, Fightnomics. Reed Kuhn, I believe, was the gentleman's name.
Yep.
And he was the one that kind of came up with the statistics. And I remember he said, if you want more action, get them on the small cage. That's why the WEC, I'm not trying to slight those fighters. They always came to fight. But did you ever wonder why those guys put on some exciting fights? It was a smaller cage, and there's a lot of other organizations like Tachi Palace and Victory. They just use smaller cages. So, anyway, which do you prefer? It's as simple as that. The small cage, the big cage, or do you just not have a preference? Goes.
I'm going to go with bigger is always better. I've heard this argument from Dana White. He says it just kind of looks better. I know that sounds odd on television, but when you do walk into the arena, if you've ever seen the smaller cage at not the smallest of venues, but just a little bit of a bigger venue, it does kind of look a little different from when you walk in and you see the big octagon. I like the look of it, and I do like the movement of allowing fighters to just be able to move around a little bit easier. The smaller cage, it's okay. I mean, I don't mind it. Consistency is my big thing, though, is I wish they could just, whatever it is they do decide on, they just did it from then on out.
All right, and Dan, Tom?
Couple different perspectives, you know. I'm sure the fighters, depending on their style, will have a different, reaction. If you're a grappler, maybe you like the smaller cage. If you're more of a Machida type, maybe you like moving around. But like you said, George, with the WEC, I think that the smaller cage produces more fights. So from a fan perspective and a appreciator of fun fights, I'll go with the smaller cage. Even from a betting perspective, I think it even entices some things where it makes some matchups kind of lopsided because that small cage really affects even the dynamic of a lot of matchups. So bring on the chaos, small cage.
Yeah, when I show up, I almost forget about it unless I am really, really putting on a large size wager, because then that will come into play, because now I'm trying to cross off all the intangibles, you know what I mean? But when I show up, I would go under no preference, I guess. A fight is a fight. However, if told that I'm the decision maker before the event, what should we go with? I would go with small cage, because I heard that stat a while ago, and I want them to fight. And I know that my frustrations, one of my biggest frustrations when I do go to fights, is when things slow down, and especially when they have too much room to not be engaging. And I know some of it, I know the fighters say, well, what do you want us to go out there and just be, rock'em sock'em robots? Kinda, but I also don't want you to be marathon runners. So I think I would prefer the small cage if pushed. But yeah, I mean, no preference also got a lot of votes. In fact, here's the breakdown on how that worked out. Big cage, 52%. Surprising.
Okay.
Dan, small cage with us, only 25%.
Wow.
23% said no preference. What happened to the other 2%? Oh, no, 52%. No, my bad. 1,042 voted. Thank you very much for your participation. There you have it. There's the daily breakdown brought to you by the MMA Junkie radio team. All right, let's take these quick calls. On the hotline, Marco from Waco. What's up, buddy?
Marco from Waco. ¿Qué pasa, dude?
¿Qué pasa, man?
Marco.
Getting ready for 3 days of outstanding fights. I started with PFL tomorrow, the Ultimate Fighter on Friday, and of course the big kahuna to UFC 226 on Saturday, man. I'm going to be overdosed with freaking MMA this weekend.
Tell me about it, man. Don't sleep on PFL. That's going to be a great card.
Yeah.
That's going to kick everything off, and then you're right. It's just going to be non-stop. And George said, I think you were, before we got into all this, you were talking about how your feet were hurting. I've kind of designated tonight as my chill night, and I'm really going to try and get a lot of sleep because back-to-back cards, the card on television with PFL, it is going to be brutal, but that's what we love. That's why this is MMA Junkie.
It's crazy. It's chill nights the 4th of July.
I know, right?
That's what MMA does to us, Marco.
That's right. Hey, real quick, on the Golden State Warriors having a super team, starting with the bench with Andrade, Iguodala, DeMarcus Cousins, KD, Steph Curry, Kevin Green, Klay Thompson. It's not even fair, man. Okay, let's just keep the trophy and wait for the 2020. Peace out.
All right, we'll see you. My opinion is I don't think they're going to win it next year.
Just too many.
I don't think that's a guarantee. No, you know what? If they win it, it'll be because they were going to win it anyway. Sure, he'll contribute, but you'll be able to tell whether the team chemistry needed him or not. I just don't think that, if they won it, now they're just going to mow through everyone because they added that guy. He is a 25-10 guy. I get it. But for one, they don't get him till about March. So it's just basically, I think, insurance through the playoffs because, Curry's had some problems with the longevity of the season and injuries. So it still remains to be seen. Let's talk to Russ in Boston. What's up, Russ? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much, man.
Russ?
Hey, Goes, that quote you just said about the dogs barking, who did you quote on that?
Del Griffith.
That was the guy from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, right?
Yeah.
I just watched that the other day for the first time. Oh my god, that movie's hilarious. There's so many really funny scenes that are so memorable. I love that the one in the car rental when he went up to the desk. Oh my God, that movie is so funny. Anybody who hasn't watched it, look it up on like Netflix. I laughed my ass off on that.
I need a fucking car with 4 fucking wheels and a fucking steering wheel.
That lady is the one from Ferris Bueller's Day Off as well. She's the secretary.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the movies I think you can just point in anybody's direction and they should like it. I've never heard anybody say they didn't like that movie.
Well, and her response was classic when he didn't have his rental agreement. Well, I guess you're fucked.
Yeah. Who's better secretary? The secretary for...
Danny, save that drop.
Sorry. Go ahead, Russ.
Hey, guys.
Saved.
I'm looking forward to these fights this weekend, especially for the pay-per-view. My question to you guys is, I mean, without tipping your hand on what your picks are, what do you think is the next UFC championship that changes hands?
Ooh, the next one that changes hands. Well, according to my picks, it's going to be the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But, well, I know you're with me on that one.
It's got to come down to this weekend, then, for the most part, unless you're on both sides retaining.
Well, I just don't think Valentina Shevchenko is just too much. I think she's going to...
That's more of a lock, I think, if we're... that question from earlier.
Yeah? We got Nico on hold.
Oh, what?
George?
Which one?
What do you think is the next belt that's going to change hands?
That's September. I would say, and I can't talk about the ones this week.
No, you can.
I think Cormier. That's my prediction. I think Cormier is going to take it from Miocic. But if we get past that weekend, because I think Max will hold on to his. Although Ortega's a gamer, I realize that. Then we get into Cody and TJ, and then we get into Demetrius. So yeah, I think that's the right one. I think that if you want to feel the most certain, it just seems like Valentina has been a lifelong martial artist, and she competed so well at Bantam. Now she's dropping 10 pounds. We haven't seen Nico Montana have any form of a reign or a run or anything like that, whereas Valentina's provided us with a lot over some top-notch gals. So that's my pick.
Max Holloway is so chill. I mean, he has this aura about him where he kind of just makes you believe he knows what's going to happen. He knows how he's going to do it. But Brian Ortega's like out-chilled him. And I wonder if it's almost creeped him out. Like even last night, Brian Ortega was there. He went, he got his award, he sat around. It's like that fight's a little scary for me. I don't really know what to do there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Russ, good stuff, man. I'm glad you watched that movie.
Take it easy, guys.
Okay, we'll see you, buddy.
Easy, Russ.
All right, I think we're trying to connect now with Yves Edwards. We saw Yves last night. He was traveling all night to get to Washington, D.C. for PFL 3. PFL 3 takes place tomorrow night, which is Thursday, July 5th. In D.C., 9 p.m. Eastern start time, and of course 6 Pacific, if you can get the West Coast live broadcast, which we do on DirecTV. It's channel 220 if you have DirecTV. Otherwise, check your cable and satellite listings. Tomorrow, welterweights and middleweights will be on display. 6 fights in each weight class. Remember, this is their regular season pairings. They will try and get wins and points so that they'll have the benefit of a better seeding going forward into their playoff. And at the very end, the winner of each of those divisions wins $1 million. How are we looking, Danny, with Yves Edwards? You must be talking to him. Okay. All right.
He's there and ready to go.
He's there. He's ready to go. Awesome. All right, cool. Welcome, Yves, back to MMAjunkie Radio. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Did you have a safe flight? Did you get any rest on that red eye last night?
I slept the whole flight, and on top of that, I was afraid I wasn't going to make it, but I got out in time, so it all worked out.
Hey, did you ever, for one moment, consider when you were a presenter last night at the World MMA Awards and you gave out best programming? Even for half a second, did you just consider going MMAjunkie Radio just to give Goz and I half a second thrill and then pull a Steve Harvey and give the real winner?
I thought about doing a Steve Harvey, but I couldn't do that. There was too many eyes on me. I might shit the bed.
He was a presenter / roaster last night, wasn't he?
He was roasting? Nice. He was trying to be a pickup artist?
Wait, / what?
Roaster?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a good burn. That was very solid.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
All right.
It's over my head, man. I still haven't slept too much. I slept on the flight, and that was it.
Eve, let's talk about.
So what's going on with you guys, man? It was fun. It was so fun seeing you guys.
It was, man. It was great. It was great to see you. I had a fun time. You know, it was, a lot of the winners were there to receive their trophies. That's cool. Hopefully, they keep doing it, and hopefully more people come on out. I think it's good for the sport. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. It was a fun time.
Yeah. Shields and Cooper. How unique is this? Have you ever heard of a guy fighting the dad and the son at any point in the existence of 25 years of mixed martial arts? I think this is the first time I heard of that.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard of it also, man. I just saw both of them, like, literally just 3 seconds ago as we started our conversation. Yeah. I just walked by both of them, Ray Jr. and Ray the Third. And I spoke to Jake just a few minutes ago, and I'm excited about that fight, man, because, you know, Jake has a whole lot of experience, but that second generation, I mean, you look at guys who are second generation athletes in football, you know, you look at the Long Boys, you look at Mayweather, having that guidance of somebody ahead of you that had to filter out all these different things that you won't necessarily ever even have to learn because they don't work, especially with the evolution of the sport. I'm looking forward to seeing that fight. And then Jake has so much experience, man. How is he going to be able to take advantage of that? Jake's not the most dynamic athlete, but he's a fighter through and through. So the physical attributes that, you know, he's lacking in, like speed, power, and his punches, he makes up for that with something else, and that experience. And how is that going to play into a young guy who knows the game, has known the game since he was 7 years old.
Right. How about you, Eve? How about if you answer the question? If you were told you had to face an explosive power puncher, you know, speed, you know, a lot to contend with, versus a guy that's got a heavy top game, that's got incredible cardio, that grinds you out with tons of experience, like Jake Shields, which one would be more of a nightmare for you?
For me, the nightmare would be the top guy with tons of experience. You know, I feel comfortable in distance and in space on my feet. I felt comfortable there. Speed. They say speed is the first thing to go, but I still feel quick. So, and I was quick back in the day. So, for my style specifically, a guy like Jake would be a problem. But, you know, Ray Cooper is a different cat. He's different than I am. He's got some speed and some power. I don't think he's as quick as I was in my prime, but he's still quick, and he's got power. And Jake is not a quick guy. Jake has power on the ground, but he doesn't have big punches. So that fight is kind of a classic, you know, striker versus grappler. And we also have an athletic guy versus, you know, just a hard worker. So, and then, you know, none of those advantages play out until you take advantage of them. So we see how Jake is going to be able to take advantage of his experience, and see how Ray is able to take advantage of his youth and be in that second generation.
Yves Edwards, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He will be one of the gentlemen that will be on the call of tomorrow night's PFL 3 card on NBC Sports Network, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. Goes, what do you have for Yves?
Yves, I know at the end of the day, a fight is a fight, but guys like Rick Story, Eddie Gordon, I know you fought in different organizations, some with rings, some with cages. What is it like just going in there and experiencing a different organization, a different field of things? Does that all just go out the window the second the ref says, let's get it on?
You know, yeah, everything does. Once the fight starts, once there's another man standing in front of you trying to take your head off, nothing else matters. You don't worry about the bills that you didn't pay or the late notices you've gotten on anything or anything like that. You're just concerned with what's in front of you. But it comes back immediately when you settle down, when you really settle into it. You know, if you settle into the fight. I remember going over to Pride, coming from the UFC, and realizing that when the fight had started, things were very different. You know, you feel a different energy from the crowd. You feel a different energy from the arena and the environment. And I believe that's something what the fighters feel here at the PFL, a different energy based on the fact that it's based on, you know, merit. You win fights and you score these extra points by finishing fights and within the regulation time. It just kind of lets guys fight like themselves and not so concerned about keeping a winning streak because that's going to keep them in the organization, or we're trying to be exciting because that's how you sell pay-per-views or sell tickets. They're just fighting like themselves, and the sport of fighting itself is exciting. So it's one of those issues where I like what the PFL is doing. I like the format they have, and I truly believe the format and the setup is just really fighter friendly and helps guys to fight like themselves, be themselves, and really show what they bring into a cage.
Yves, we hear a lot of fighters talk about getting into their groove, or fighters saying, I'm entering my prime. As a broadcaster for yourself, how do you feel right now, broadcasting wise? Is it safe to say you're in your broadcasting prime? Have you hit that right now? And then as far as the 4-man booth, this is going to be PFL 3 here. Do you feel like now you guys are kind of getting used to each other and hitting your groove at this point?
I feel like we're still getting used to each other. This is going to be our third time working together. I've worked with Boss before in the past. I've worked out with Randy in the past, but in this capacity, it's different. And those guys are guys that I came up growing up wanting to be like, and now I get the chance to sit with them and sit next to them. So it's an honor for me at the same time. But I don't think I've hit my prime yet, for sure. I'm still new at it. I'm starting to get into my groove, and it feels good. But my goal is to be great, so it's just going to continue to improve, I believe.
Yves, we were recently just talking, having our little daily debate actually about cage sizes in MMA, the big cage versus the small cage, talking about from UFC to other organizations like WEC that maybe exclusively use a smaller cage. I guess, what's your opinion on it? A, do you have a preference as a fighter? And B, as far as PFL or maybe even any other new organization goes, would you maybe suggest if you had an ear in one of the executives' ears, maybe on at least considering those kind of options for the more finishes that statistically they've been proven to produce the smaller cage?
The smaller cage produces more finishes, I believe, because it's less room. There's less room to get on your bicycle and run. But at the same time, I like a bigger cage than what is it? I think like 16 feet. I don't like that. I think like the UFC's large cage is 32 feet, and that's a little much. I think like 26 would be perfect. You have some space. When you need to make space, you can make it. But if the other guy has good footwork, or if he can take that away, it's more practical to take away space in a medium-sized cage. So I'm like a split the difference kind of guy where that goes, because then everything comes into play. You can't really get on that bike and run. We've seen fights like that are just miserable to watch. And then when the fights are in a smaller cage, the guy who has the advantage most of the time in wrestling is going to win that, because it's going to be much harder to defend takedowns consistently when you guys are so much closer to each other for so much longer. The shot count goes up, and it's run and run. It's like a jerk in a bar. You just hit that nuclear bomb, and you just hit on every girl. You're gonna get lucky at some point, right?
I like that metaphor, Yves. And I guess one last thing, one I guess that doesn't surprise me from you, because you're a very well-rounded fighter, but you also didn't mind your space to move around and strike. But I always gotta pick your brain about styles, Yves. And I was just curious, top of your head, since you're an analyst, you got a nice library stocked up from your own experiences. But aside from yourself, of course, top 3 southpaw strikers in MMA off the top of your head. Who's yours, Yves?
Top of my head, top 3 strikers, southpaws. Oh my God! And MMA.
MMA. Well, let's leave it down to MMA. Yeah, well, that way to cut it down for you.
Oh man, that's a trip. I of course love Dustin Poirier. Man, I don't know. I don't know. You catch me at a really bad time. Like now, I'm trying to think.
No love for Spider Silva.
I love Anderson, but he switched up a lot, so I don't class him as a southpaw.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But if you want to throw him in the mix, absolutely 100%, but he switched it up quite a bit. And yeah, I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now. I truly
all
am.
good, all good.
All right, no worries, Eve. But thank you very much. I mean, you had a long night, a long flight, so we'll give you the pass. But hey, it's always great to catch up with you. It was great to see you last night. And I'm a big fan of your work on the TV. We will be tuning in to PFL 3 tomorrow on NBC Sports Network at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for spending some time with us here on MMA Junkie Radio.
Thank you, George. You're gorgeous, baby.
Oh, thank you. Take care, buddy.
Right. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
All right, see you. Nice little makeup from last time, right? What was that last time? Fluffy or Squishy Man? That's right.
That killed me.
Also, PFL people, they have pre-fight coverage on Facebook. They have 2 Facebook pages, right? But the one I want you to pay attention to is PFL MMA Live. So Facebook.com/PFL MMA Live. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, you'll get to watch some prelims there. And then after the fights, after they're done on NBC Sports Network, go back to PFL MMA Live. That's www.facebook.com/PFL MMA Live and catch the post-fight show there. All right? All right, let's take this quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to one of the headliners from PFL 3, Ray Cooper. We're still trying to track down Anthony Pettis, and then Vinc Pichel is going to finish off things here in the studio with us, UFC Lightweight. We'll be right back.
window. Outside, the cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here.
They pat down TSA agents because they don't know where those people have been. And because they can. They are Gorgeous George and Goes. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
The Killers are playing a private show for SiriusXM subscribers at the Stephen Talk House, in the Hamptons, and we have your chance to be there. One grand prize winner will receive a trip or two and tickets to this very special show. For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/thekillers before July 18th. No additional purchase is necessary. All right, joining us now on the hotline is Ray Cooper. Ray Cooper III, He is 13-4 overall. He's got 13 KOs, 5 submissions. So all of his fights, all of his wins have ended with a finish. You don't want to blink, including his last 4 wins. All have been KO, or 6 of his last 7 wins all have been KO. He faces Jake Shields in the main event at PFL 3 tomorrow. What's up, Ray? How you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You might want to reconsider changing your nickname to The Finisher, or I Don't Play, or I Get Down, or Don't Blink, or Don't Go Get a Beer While I'm Fighting. All of those, man, because that's an impressive stat line there.
Yeah, no, just come in there to fight. I finished it as fast as I can.
You haven't even seen the 3rd round yet, except for your last fight. But at least when you're winning, you know, when things do go your way, you don't even get out of the 2nd.
Yeah, I just try to. That's how I train too. I train to go at it and push the pace on my opponent.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they're paying you by the hour, right? Yeah, it's the same amount no matter how long you're in there, and I guess it's better to just go in there and put the pressure. But I love that stat line. And, of course, Jake is the more well-known name of between the two of you. So I think what's happening, Ray, is a lot of people are saying, oh, man, if Jake gets Ray down, what's going to happen? A lot of the focus is there. What should the focus be for anyone that's looking at it through the lens of, well, what if Ray Cooper has Jake in trouble? Your favorite positions are just standing, striking, or do you feel like there's clinch work against the fence, or you have a mean top game or ground and pound that a lot of people aren't giving you enough credit for?
Yeah, nobody knows how I fight, but I've been wrestling since I was young, and my dad fought him back in the 90s, so I kind of know how he fights. But I'm going to keep it standing during the fight, and if it goes to the ground, and I feel I can control him on the ground.
Has your dad said anything to you about the fight? Is it in any way special for you guys just because it is a common opponent?
Not really. He just I watched him fight, and he didn't change over the years as they fought back in the 90s, and how he fights now. It's pretty much the same. He's stiff and he's slow, and I feel I just can overwhelm him, and he doesn't do too good under pressure, so I feel I can catch him standing up and control him on the ground.
A lot of people forget your dad also won a fight. They were 1-1, so this could be a tiebreaker in the Cooper-Shields trilogy as well. I think a lot of people just think that Jake only beat your dad and that was it, but they actually are 1-1. Are you thinking of it in a trilogy at all, or is that so far back in the past that it just doesn't matter?
Yeah, it's kind of a trilogy, but we're gonna start our own since we're gonna have to challenge each other again, probably.
Yeah.
If he does get later on in the season, because I'm looking to finish him in the 1st round, and yeah, that's pretty much how I'm feeling.
Ray Cooper III talking to us here on MMA Junkie Radio. He headlines PFL 3 tomorrow night. NBC Sports Network, Channel 220 if you have DirecTV. Otherwise, check your cable and satellite listings. And the fights start at 9 p.m. Eastern start time. How about this? We're talking to Ray Cooper III, and we're talking about PFL 3, and this is Shields versus Cooper 3 that we're talking about. So
with the Illuminati?
The big number 3 is out there. Yeah, exactly. Goes, what do you have for Ray Cooper?
Ray, when you went back and you looked at the Jake Shields footage, I know you said that you didn't feel like too much has really changed, even going back to the 90s. How many fights did you actually really just pay attention to? Like, how many fights back did you go before you just said, you know what, there's no need to even go any further here?
Pretty much just my dad's fight. That's pretty much it. And he's still the same fighter from then. When he fought Dan Henderson, when he fought Tyron Woodley, he's pretty much the same. He just died to the takedown, hoping he's going to get it. But he got to get past my hands first. And that's why I'm pretty much going to keep it standing.
If he did the same thing for you, what would you think would stand out the most in the last 2 years, the biggest change in your game?
Well, the biggest change in my game is probably this training camp. I trained pretty hard for this one. And I think he's going to be surprised with my wrestling because I never did show my wrestling yet in any of my fights. So I think that I got an advantage with that I don't think he thinks that I have a good ground game because most of my losses came from submission. So, yeah, he's thinking that he's going to take me down and probably submit me. So.
Our fight analyst, Dan Tom, has a couple for you, Ray. Go ahead, Dan. What do you have for Ray Cooper?
Hey, Ray, your pops was fighting at a time in Hawaii, which was real interesting for MMA because, we had shows like not just Rumble on the Rock, but obviously Super Brawl where, Jake and your father fought. And there was a lot of talent from not just Hawaii, but obviously all over the world they pulled. Were you able to attend any of these shows and stuff, as a young kid coming up, or how was that?
Oh, yeah, I was mostly at every one, and it was packed. It was awesome. It was like the UFC, but bigger in Hawaii. It's pretty much where it started. Like guys like Vitor Belfort, Randy Couture, Frank Shamrock came down to fight in Hawaii, and it was awesome. Yeah, I think they should bring it back down.
Right on, man. And just curious because that's just such a wealth. And since you just said that you saw those, is there any one that sticks out as far as like historical that sticks out in your mind from today?
Oh well, my dad's fights, all his fights was pretty awesome, and probably BJ. I know everybody says him, but BJ is one of the pioneers of the sport that I used to watch planning to, and when he fought Gomi down there, it was pretty.
Oh wow!
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
You were at that fight?
Yeah, I was at the fight.
Very cool. All right. Well, Ray, you're headlining tomorrow, so we appreciate you giving us time today. I think you guys have already weighed in, so hopefully you're in the process of getting fatter and happier and rehydrated so that you can throw down tomorrow against Jake Shields. We're really anxious to watch it, and again, we appreciate your time today.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Okay, take care, Ray. We'll see you.
All right, bye.
That is Ray Cooper III, headlining tomorrow night's PFL 3. Let's talk to Dan in Oregon. He's been on hold for a bit.
Hey.
What's up, Dan in Oregon? How you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty fantastic. Happy Independence Day to everyone in the studio there.
You too, man. Happy birthday, America. I don't know if we said it at the beginning of the show, but today is the 4th of July, so happy birthday to the United States of America. How old are we now? 2018, 1776? What is that, like 242 years old?
It's a lot, man.
That is?
We're like a fucking old tortoise.
Did I get that right? Or
something like that.
All right. Proceed, Dan. Welcome to the show, Vince Pichel. We're in the middle of a call here. This is Dan in Oregon. What's up, Dan?
Man, I'll make this quick since you got a guest from Hell Pichel. Can't wait for this. Man, how did no one storm the stage yesterday like Kanye West? Throwing up making a scene about you gave Justin Gaethje comeback of the year when Darren Elkins had to come back from the brink of death to get a fucking comeback. Gaethje already won a different award. You guys couldn't give this one to Darren Elkins. The damage, this is the worst robbery I've ever seen. Any fight out there, any shit. What the damage did, man, if that doesn't almost bring a tear to your eye when you fucking hear him scream after that victory, I don't know what the hell will. That was a goddamn robbery, guys, man. Touch on that shit. Back to you, I'm out.
Okay. Hey, I got to admit, when I was sitting there and they gave all of them, I did think, how do you not give it to Elkins? So Elkins was down 2 rounds to nothing, and he was getting jacked up, all right? Mm-hmm. And then he came back and beat Mirsad Bektik and finished him very, very impressively. So his comeback, I think, was greater than Michael Johnson and Gaethje, who went back and forth. And even though Johnson was putting it on Gaethje, I don't believe he was putting it on and winning rounds and on the cusp of basically like if Bektik had won, we would have said, man, he steamrolled Elkins before Elkins did the comeback. Whereas when Gagey and Johnson fought, had Johnson won, or whoever won, we just would have said, that was one hell of a fight. Great job to stay calm and composed, and get out of trouble and come back and win. But I thought the other one just had a greater course of a comeback. You know what I mean? He had to go a longer way, and it was. I mean, the other one was a main event. I get it. This one was on a huge card. I get it. But I thought Elkins really. I agree with Dan. I thought Elkins had more of a comeback.
Totally.
Yeah. So I thought he should have won that. Now
Gaethje's explosive. That's the thing. Is like you would expect that he could come back in that fashion. Elkins was getting destroyed.
Yeah, it's true. Elkins grinds you. He doesn't kind of finish
point.
you that way. I mean, that should have been the comeback, right, Vince?
I think so too. I feel like Elkins should have got that comeback one. I don't feel like Gaethje really came back from anything in that Michael Johnson fight. He wasn't. I agree. He wasn't getting beat on like Elkins was.
Yeah.
And like you said, the scream afterwards, like that just yell of emotion and joy. You know
primal,
what I mean?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was raw right there. Like you can't like fake that kind of shit.
And here's another thing. At some point in that show, they showed Alvarez and Poirier because I think they were up for Fight of the Year. And you see Alvarez, the controversial knees. So everybody says, hey, when
I thought that was
fighters,
funny they showed those too.
What's that?
I thought that was kind of funny they even showed that.
Right. So
by the way,
everybody says that when you guys are there, you guys are, even though you're trying to focus, at some point in time, you're just exactly. And so a lot of people that sided with Alvarez and said, hey, man, he didn't mean to do it. He was just, doing whatever. How about Elkins? Elkins, he had some punches on Bektik, but he had the wherewithal to watch him. And once that hand came up, then came the kick. You know what I mean? So you have to applaud that effort to see, because he also could have been in a position to get disqualified. But instead, he got him at the right moment. And then Mersad fell on his head. And then Elkins turns around, and it was so primal because his blood,
just
crimson
blood.
face, and it's coming down on his chest. He can't even read the damage tattoo, and he's throwing up his hands. I remember everyone roared at the arena. So really, if you want to break it down, that was the better comeback.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I thought it was an easy call too. I was really shocked.
Yeah.
Like if I were Darren Elkins, as they were reading it, I think I'd be putting my phone away. I'd be kind of doing something like this.
Exactly.
I thought it was a lock.
What did you guys think about his little? I don't know if I can say anything about it, but his little end speech to McGregor. What did he say? Suck my balls.
Suck
McGregor
my balls.
said.
He probably had a couple because he's not really that style. That's not his style to talk.
Yeah.
So he probably had a couple and just what the hell,
Yeah.
Maybe
Throw it
somebody
out
dared
there.
him.
Yeah.
Hey, if you win, say this.
But
Getting
okay,
text
look,
at the podium.
that whole show, and what are we talking about, right? We talked about two things. One of them was suck my balls, so I guess it worked, right?
That's true.
You got us.
Suck my balls prevails.
Yeah. So how you doing, Vince Pichel?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, George?
Good. You having a good time in Vegas so far?
I did, yeah.
You presented last night. Did you?
It was
you
awesome.
hung out over there at the after party. Did you get any gambling in?
No, I'm not much of a gambler. I do a little bit. My friend here, my friend Stephanie's a gambler, so I sip away slot machines with her. Sometimes I'll throw $20 in it, but not normally. But
You win?
I like it out here. Nah, I lost.
Yeah,
I lost $40.
I never do good in slot machines. He kills slot machines.
Really?
I don't know what it is.
You know, my coach Petey's like that. Like when I was out here, I was fighting Andrew and I was cutting weight, and he sees a slot machine or like a lottery ticket machine, and he's like, tractor being wrecked to that fucking thing, man. Like he loves that kind of stuff.
Right.
So he's like on the slot machine, and he's like, damn, he lost his shit, and he's like, let me get another 20. He's like, and that'll be it. I'm like, all right. So I hooked him up for $20. This dude would not stop winning, and so I'm there, and I'm like 155 pounds. I'm like, dude, I need to go to the hotel room, like lay down. I'm not feeling so well. He's like, no, just a little longer. And I was like, I just gotta go, man. I walked by, I left him. This dude came in the hotel room at like 4 a.m. with like $2,000 or something like that.
Damn.
Like he was out that same slot machine. Like he was there murdering that same slot machine.
What was your cut?
$20.
No, he just gave you back your 20?
No, he gave me food. He fed me and stuff.
All right.
Normally I'm the feeder, but he fed me that trip.
Well, look, I don't want to regurgitate what I told you last night, but I know last night, your previous fight didn't come out the way you wanted.
Yeah.
But I was still impressed with the effort you gave. It showed a lot of toughness, a lot of heart.
Thank
You know what I mean? And sometimes we look for these positives even when things don't go to your way. And a lot of fighters can't do that because they'll go, wow, I got waxed. You lost, but man, you gave them hell. I mean, there you go. You gave them hell at times, and didn't make it easy for him. You touched them, backed them up, and he had this look on his face for half a second like, okay, reminder, not a good idea, and then he had to go back to what he's really good at. And to be fair, he has been a standout, collegiate wrestler and everything. But still, hopefully all that experience you apply in the next camp, along with what your striking's become, and I still think you have quite a future. 13-2 overall. I mean, that's a great record. You know what I mean? So stay in there. Stay positive.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for that. Yeah, it was a tough. That's a hard pill to swallow. Is losing like that. You know what I mean? Like, I've lost twice, and I've failed a lot. You know what I mean? But like losing like that is hard, especially like for me. Like in my own eyes, like I'm in front of like the world. You know what I mean? I put so much effort for like my friends, my family, my coaches. Like the hard part is like I feel like disappointing people. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy with my performance. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm not happy. I want to win, obviously, but I'm not disappointed in the way it happened. Like, yeah, I wanted to win, but things happen for a reason, and it was an eye opener for me. You know what I mean? It did open my eyes to some things. And so, like, I have a super positive attitude about it. I'm like, I'm going to be back. I have people ask me, like, if I'm going to continue fighting, and I'm like, yeah, that was just, you know what I mean, speed bump, bro. Like, what do? You just go around speed bumps, or you stop driving and get out and walk the rest of the way? Like, what the hell? Like, I go over that fucker, I keep going, you know what I mean? Like, I hit that sucker.
You still have other things going on in life, though, right? You still go to school and all that?
Yeah, I still go to school. I go to school twice a week. I'm in the IBEW. I'm an electrician in the IBEW in Ventura County. And so I work full-time right now. I'm working 40 hours a week. I'm going to school 2 days a week, and then I train around that and fight. So, like, my life is pretty hectic, but I get it done.
Yeah. Now, you had a 4-fight win streak before that, and like I said, you're 13-2 overall. So where do you feel like your placement is right now? And is there a certain name that I think at some point when you've put in your time, you can throw out a name of who you fancy fighting next? Do you have one?
Yeah, I actually want to fight someone that I think would be an exciting fight, like a Gaethje or a Poirier or even an Alvarez. You know what I mean? Like guys like that. I don't necessarily feel like this loss put me down in any kind of rankings in any way. You know what I mean? Like I'm still a dangerous guy. Like I know most of the guys in especially my weight class aren't going to want to strike with me. You know what I mean? So I know where my self-worth is and where my skill level's at, but the problem is, like, can I get these guys to fight me? You know what I mean? Like, some guys have been having a lot of trouble lately getting fights with, especially with, like, the bigger and the ranked guys, because they don't want to, out for whatever reason, they don't want to lose their place, or they don't feel like we're entitled. Oh, not entitled, I don't want to say that, but we don't deserve the shot to fight them. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like with Al, when I was calling out Al, and Al tells me, like, you're not at my level, or you're not ranked like me, or, like, you know what I mean? Some stupid bullshit like that. Like, I don't know. That's all materialistic bullshit to me, so I would like to fight someone exciting, like I said, Gaethje, Alvarez, like a Poirier, someone. I want to put on a fight for the fans. You know what I mean? I want to put on a show, and that's basically it. I don't really, you know what I mean? I'm like, whatever. I'll fight whoever, whenever, you know. Anyway,
try the suck my balls angle.
Let's suck my balls.
Never know, right?
We got to take a quick break right now. Listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. We got Vinc Pichel in the house. He's a UFC lightweight. He is 13-2 overall. He's won 4 of his last 5. And we'll continue talking to him, see what's next for him in 2018.
like a trendsetter movie.
Because otherwise, yeah, Rocky.
Yeah.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
You talking about a whistle?
Yeah.
If you play fantasy sports, SiriusXM has a channel just for you. Listen to Fantasy Sports Radio to hear expert advice from the top fantasy baseball and fantasy football analysts. Whether you need help setting your fantasy baseball lineup or you want to know who the breakout players in fantasy football will be this season, the place to be is Sirius 210 XM87 and streaming on your phone or at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers. Vinc Pichel here in studio with us. We will do a few minutes of overtime. Just to accommodate the big list of guests that we've had today, including Ray Cooper, who will be headlining PFL 3 tomorrow night on NBC Sports Network, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. Also, Facebook.com/Pro Fight Live has you covered with prelims prior to the main card and a post-fight reaction afterwards, after the fights. I don't want to really call it a press conference, but Pro Fight Live, again, on their Facebook page. Different from Pro Fight League, which is their official Facebook page. The other one is where they stream things there over there at Professional Fighters League. Also, Curtis Millender and Jhenny Andrade both stopping by the studio. We'll try and reconnect Anthony Pettis for tomorrow, but we also talked to Yves Edwards. I want to get all that out of the way that we can cruise to the finish line with my man here, Vinc Pichel, 13-2 overall, looking for a fight probably in 2018, right, Vince?
Yes, sir. I was talking to Shelby last night actually about that.
Yeah.
And he was asking me what I want to do, and I was like, oh, maybe a few months, get my marbles, get some training in, work on myself a little bit, and then get back out there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You're more of a 2-fight per year guy, right?
Yeah, I like 2 or 3 fights.
Yeah.
Because then that gives me enough time, because I live in California, it's pretty expensive out there, and that gives me enough floating room where, if, let's say, work's slow, I can, still have some comfort to be not stressed about money, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I gotta make some money, and then worry about going out hustling or doing something, side jobs or, whatever I gotta do to make money.
Okay. All right, so Vince's gonna stay just a couple minutes of overtime, and that way we can talk to him a little bit more. SiriusXM audience, you'll get more combat sports and entertainment headed your way. Keep it locked on 93 throughout the day because we have some great shows like Busted Open for you pro wrestling fans, At the Fights for you boxing fans, and of course MMA Tonight and the Luke Thomas Show, along with MMAjunkie Radio coming strong on the MMA front. Now, if you ever hear about this overtime and you want to catch what's happening, because we always have a lot of in-studio guests, you can always go back once you park the car safely and you've gone back to your office. Go to youtube.com/MMAjunkie video. All the shows that we've ever done are there, and you can kind of check out the scene here. And of course, if you're ever in Las Vegas, stop by the Mandalay Bay and catch the show live, like Jill coming in from Ottawa, longtime listener of Tag Radio and MMAjunkie Radio. We'll be right back in a couple seconds.
You'll never be the same again. I'm gonna keep on the run, I'm gonna have me some fun. It cost me my very last dime. If my wind up broke, well, I'll always remember that I had a swing time.
Okay, what was that question? Sorry?
Is that the awards they were giving out last night?
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah. That was, we won Best Media Source.
Nice.
A few years, not last year, but a few years back. And we got to keep one of them, and a couple of them are back at our editor-in-chief's house. So we won 5 altogether, but MMA Fighting got us last night. Did we get your vote, by the way, Vince? Or did you go with Fighting or Sherdog or Bloody Elbow?
No, I vote you guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, cool.
All right, thank you. That's nice to hear. All right, so I've been dying to ask you this, because I know we've had you in the studio before, and pardon me, but I don't remember if I asked you then, but can you share a good street fight story with us?
Oh, yeah, actually, I have a lot of street fight stories.
That's what I thought. I had that feeling.
Let me see.
Tell us how things go down in the 805.
Dude, I have a bunch. I can tell you.
The dirt biking days?
Huh?
The dirt biking days?
Yeah. I was a little punk asshole when I was younger, dude. I got in so many fights.
The skate park, the bars, where?
Everywhere, dude. I would fight skate parks, bars, houses. A lot of times it was house parties.
You know what I like to hear? I like it when you were not in the wrong, where you were defending someone or you checked the bully. I want to hear one of those. You got one of those?
Oh, yeah, I got some good ones of those.
Let's hear that.
I have a couple,
actually. That way no one thinks, well, this guy's a bully.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I was at a party with my girlfriend a long time ago, my buddy Curtis, and then a friend Josh. My friend Josh is a smaller guy. I think he's 5'5", you know what I mean? He's a smaller dude. and we're at this party, and I'm hanging out, and I look over, and I see
house party.
I see Josh, yeah, house party, and there's a pool. I remember pretty vividly, like I'm standing out there, and the house is like straight ahead, and sliding door, and then there's a pool to the left, not gated, and then there's just like this weird little like L-shaped area where everyone was like partying. There's a couple kegs there, and we were young shit. I think I was like, this was before fighting too. I think I was maybe 20, 21, 22. I was barely old enough to drink.
21, yeah.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, for drinking purposes. And then, okay, so I see my buddy Josh talking to these two dudes, and these two dudes were like older, and they were just out of high school, these friends, because my girlfriend at the time was younger. So, like, I saw Josh, and I saw these dudes talking to him, and I could tell that he was uncomfortable. Like I'm pretty good at reading people, like body language, stuff like that. So I see him, and I tell Josh kind of comfortable. So I go over there, and I'm like, "What's up, Josh? You okay?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just hanging out." And then, like, the guys like weren't talking; they were just standing there looking. I was like, "Okay." I was like, "If you need like help, like come get me, because it looks like you're not comfortable over here." And one of the guys said something to me, and I was like, "What?" And he told me mind my own business, and I was like, "The fuck?" I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then he basically told me mind my own business again, and then I was like, "What's up? You guys think you can come over here and like pick on my buddy Josh? Like, why don't you pick on someone your own size?" And like who? And I was like me. I was like, "I like fighting." And then the one guy was out of my reach to my right, and then one guy was straight ahead of me. He said something. I don't even remember what he said, but I just cracked him. Bam, that dude hit the ground. And then I look at the other guy, and the other guy is almost like trying to get to me, and I'm trying to get to him, but there's so many people. Like, once I hit that dude, like, everyone just started kind of like, it was like a mosh pit. It was kind of funny. It was like a wave. And then I remember, like, swinging over.
A mosh pit of fighters or a mosh pit of people trying to get in the way?
People, yeah. There was, like, because there was a lot of people. There was too many people in this little area as it was.
Oh, okay.
And then once I hit that dude, people started, like, getting, like, crazy, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, shit's going down now, you know? So we're, like, moshing, and I remember I was trying to get to the other dude, and I couldn't quite reach him, but I remember, like, jumped and, like, reached over, and I just fucking threw my fist over, like, 4 or 5 people, like, immediately, and just hit this dude. And then he stumbles back. Whenever the fight breaks up, they pick up their friend, they drag the dude in the house, and then I'm, like, talking to Josh, and Josh was like, yeah, those dudes are fucking talking shit to me, yada, yada, and I was like, all right, I was like, if they say something again, like, just come let me know, and I'll, you know what I mean, I got your back. So we're sitting there, we're partying, and the girl's dad, whoever, comes out, and he's like, hey, excuse me, like, you guys got to get out of here. And I was like, what's the problem? And then he's like, you guys are picking fights, this and that. And so I explained to him what happened, and then my friend Josh right there and a couple other people were like, yeah, that's what happened. And the guys like, well, sorry, like, I don't want you picking fights. My daughter's house, and that's her friend, so you guys got to go. So we're like, okay, whatever. So there's still kind of some commotion. And this is the funny part of the story. So I'm walking out, and I'm walking, and I don't know why, but I turn and look, and all of a sudden, bam, I get socked. Right, just on the side of the head. And
like in the living room or outside? Or?
I was walking out, and I was just about to get inside the house, like where the sliding glass door was. And so I get right there, bam, I get hit, and I turn and look, and there's people everywhere, and I don't see anyone like standoffish with me, you know what I mean? So I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? All of a sudden, bam, I get hit the other side. So then I'm like, I turn to look this way, I'm like, who the fuck's hitting me? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? And I turn completely around with my back to the door, and I look, and I see this little head in the crowd, just bouncing through the crowd, and then bam, starts coming up to me, jumps out of the crowd like a fucking X-Men, and just swings, throws a punch, tries to hit me in the face, and I smack it. It was that dude's girlfriend that I knocked out. He was like, she was like,
girlfriend was talking to you?
His girlfriend, yeah, she cheap shot at me. It was like running around, and then cheap shot at me and running around, and I had no idea what was going on because she's so small that she was like in the crowd and I couldn't see her.
Like Daffy Duck, she's
bouncing around. All I saw was that little dark head just bouncing around through the crowd, and then all of a sudden it was coming right towards me like a shark, and then I seen her just like, ah! And like just went to throw a punch like right in my face, and I was like, oh shit, and I like smacked it, and I was like, what the hell, like, who the fuck is this chick? And then my girlfriend knew her and like kind of like punked her, was like, fuck off. But then we left, and I'm sitting outside, and we're on the curb, and the cops came. Someone called the cops, so the cops were talking to me and my friends, and the guy that I knocked out and his friend were across the street like doing this to me, like punching their fists, like when the cops leave, you know what I mean, they're gonna beat me up and shit. I was like, okay, like wait till they're gone. And the cops took off, and then I don't even know where those guys went.
Did you ever see him again?
No. Oh, that's a lie. Actually, you know what? I did see him again. Yes. But this isn't. I was kind of a bully this time I saw him.
Fuck it, let's talk.
Yeah, I saw him at my friend's house, and I actually saw his girlfriend first. So she walks in the house.
The little shark.
Yeah, the shark. She walks in the house first, and then.
How much time had gone by between these two incidents?
Not very long, which was kind of like funny to me because I was like, I want to say maybe a month or two tops. Like, it wasn't very long at all.
And when they showed up, did they think you might be there, or was this total random?
Total random thing. And the house that they showed up, it was my friend's house this time.
Okay.
So
a home game.
You know this is me good when he took a drink of water.
Yeah, he's like, all right.
Preparing his throat and everything. Like,
is my mic right? Okay.
I'm gonna feel like such an asshole telling this story, but whatever, dude. He was picking on my little friend. So the girlfriend walks in. I don't remember her name, but she walks in. I recognize her. I'm like, that chick looks familiar. Who is that chick? And then it dawned on me. I'm like, that's the fucking chick that was hitting me.
Mhm.
So I turn to look, and right away, my friend Curtis saw that I saw her, and in my eyes knows that I recognized her. So I went to go talk shit to her, like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, you don't fucking belong here. Like, kick rocks. As soon as I start walking her, here comes her boyfriend, the guy knocked out, and his friend, the same two fucking dudes. So I sit there, I see the dudes, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I was like, damn. I was like, it's a real party now. And then you can see their faces like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, what's up, guys? And they're like, hey, what's up? I was like, don't be coming here fucking trying to pick on people. I was like, this is my friend's house. Like, you guys won't have no one to save you here. Like, I'll fuck you guys up here. Like, no one will save you here. And then, so I told him that. And then the girlfriend started coming in, like, talking shit to me. So, like, I started talking shit to her, like, cussing her out. I got in her face. Like, I didn't fucking hit her or nothing. I don't hit girls, but I got in her face, was like telling her, like, and you fucking, if you like get close, like, I'll make an exception for you. Like, I'll floor your ass, bitch. Like, don't even fucking be trying to come through the crowd, like, hitting me and shit like last time. Like, that shit won't fly. So, like, that time I was just a bully to them, just making them feel super uncomfortable. But they didn't stay very long at that party.
No. These three sound like they should be robbing banks or something, huh?
I know,
like
right?
The chick's the leader, and then the other two are doing this deal, you know, hitting their fists.
Dude, how many fights did those guys get into on her behalf, though? I wonder what that counts like.
Dude, I've been in some fights because of girls, dude. I've beat up actually a good friend of mine because of a girl.
Oh,
a good friend of yours?
Yeah, like it was actually that same chick that I was dating with like that.
I was gonna say the shark again.
No, not that chick.
I was like, wow, he wound up dating the shark.
No, the same chick I was dating at that time. The same.
The
chick.
one at the party. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we headed down the road? You want to tell it again?
Yeah, I'll tell it. So,
did I not tell you? I knew the day that Vinc showed up, we'd have some. Because I heard about the skate park stories and things. Homeboy's got a rep. All right, go ahead.
And okay, so my brain just went blank on me.
Your buddy was dating a chick?
Oh yeah, no, I was dating her. Okay, so before I started dating her, I was hooking up with her friend, and then me and her friend kind of washed away, and then I started talking to her. And then my buddy was like, "Oh, I like her, this and that. Like, don't fucking go after her." And I was like, "Okay, cool. It's whatever. Like, she's yours. Like, go after her. You know what I mean? Like, no big deal." So then he was going after her, but she wasn't having it. And then she started like pursuing me. So then I told him, I was like, "I don't know what you want me to do. Like, you know what I mean?" I was like, "She's hot. I'm not gonna tell her no. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna end up hooking up with this chick." So he's like, "Oh, whatever." So I was like, "Whatever." I started hooking up with this chick. Me and her turned serious, and we were dating for years, dude. Like, I dated that chick I think for like 6 years. She was like my high school sweetheart kind of, but I was a little older. I was like almost out of high school when we started dating. And then, so me and her started dating, whatever. And then towards the end, me and her got into a fight and we broke up. And I remember I saw him and he was like, "Oh, what are you?" And her name was Shayna. He's like, "What are you and Shayna doing?" And I was like, "Oh, me and her are talking right now. Like, we broke up." And I seen his eyes just light up, right? So I was like, "Hey, dude, like, I saw that fucking shit. Like," I was like, "Don't call her, bro." I was like, "I'm not gonna." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I'm not stupid. Just don't be a fucking asshole."
That's a crush that he held on to for 6 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And so I was like, "Don't be stupid." I was like, "I know you fucking like her. I know you still like have these feelings for her. I saw your fucking eyes just light when I told you we split up right now. Like, don't be a fucking piece of shit. Like, we're homies. I've known you since fucking junior high school. You know, I know this guy for over 10 years."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh no, I won't." And so at the time, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I was a little degenerate and I was doing some illegal activities, making a lot of money. So I bought this chick a phone. Like, I got her a cell phone and stuff. This is when cell phones first came out, so I bought her a phone. I had a cell phone.
StarTech 5000?
No, it was a Nokia.
Nokia. Yeah. The snake on there.
Yeah. With the snake. And so, and you could like customize them too, put your little case on it. But so I took her phone from her. I was like, "Fuck you, bitch. This phone's mine." Like, kick rocks. So I have her phone, I have my phone, and then her phone starts ringing, and it's him. So I'm like, I'm not going to answer it. I tossed the phone. I was in my car, I think, when it was ringing. So I tossed it over to the passenger seat, and then I'm driving. He leaves a voicemail. I listen to the message. "Hey, Shada, what's up? It's Sean. Like, I heard about you and Vince. Like, that sucks. Like, we should hang out. Like, hit me up, yada, yada." And then I'm listening to his voicemail like, this motherfucker, dude. Like, I've known this guy how many years, and I straight told him to his fucking face.
Yeah,
like,
you
right
kind of
off the
gave
bat,
him
you know
a
what I
really
mean?
good friend speech too.
Yeah,
you know, like,
dude, right off the bat, you know what I mean? Because like, I'm not a stupid person. Like, I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm a very wise person, and I'm very understanding of almost any situation. You know what I mean? Because I've most likely been through this situation in some form or another. So like when I told him that, I was like, dude, I was like, I heard that message and I was like, oh my god. And then he called me, I think, and I told him, I was like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Don't let me see you for like a while until I'm like not mad at you anymore for this. You know what I mean? Because I can't be held accountable for my actions. So then I ended up seeing him at a buddy's house, and we were all drinking beers and shit. And he showed up.
How much time had gone by since that call?
Not long at all.
Oh, it's not going to go good for Sean. All right, go ahead.
So we're at my buddy's house, and we were chilling out front of his garage. Oh my god! You know what's funny is I got into a fight. I think the day before there at that friend's house too, by some big fucker that stole some weed from me. But so anyway, so I'm at
Not
there.
many days can go by without someone knowing that.
I have a shit list and it's fucking huge. So we're out there drinking, and my friend Sean comes up. Hey, what's up, guys? And he says, what's up to everyone, shakes everyone's hand. I'm at the end, and he goes, what's up to me? And I was like, don't shake my hand, dude. He's like, oh, come on, don't be like that, do like that. And I was like, dude, you did me dirty, bro. Like, that was a real fucking shitty thing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say the words I called him, but I was like, that was a real shitty thing to do. Like, I don't consider you my friend anymore. Like, that's fucked up, bro. And then, so, like, he's like, oh, whatever, and he walks away. And then, like, I'm kind of boiling because I want to just kick his ass, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying so hard to just contain myself.
You were hoping he said something, huh?
I was. Secretly, I was, but I didn't want him to because he's my friend. And you don't want to beat up friends, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fucked up thing.
Hey, just because I want to make sure I get all this straight, were you still, like, you know how, like, when there's a breakup, the couple can still get back together. Was there still that chance?
Yeah.
Or was it a final for you guys?
No, and we did get back together after that.
Oh, so that's why it was even more messed up. Like, there wasn't anything where...
It was one of those things where we had to just... It was such an intense fight, and we couldn't come to an understanding that we had to, like, take a couple days away from each other, you know what I mean? Like, you get like that sometimes with people, you know what I mean? I get that in relationships. I mean, I guess the girls don't understand sometimes, but sometimes I just need to be alone, my own time, you know what I mean? I need to clear my head. I need to let my anger calm down. I need to let that red go away. So, yeah, I'm sitting there and we're drinking beers, and, like, I'm secretly hoping he says something so I can fucking punch him because I want to punch him, but then again, I don't. So then he comes up to me, says something again, and then he's like, just shake my hand, come on, like, kind of pushing it. So I was like, whatever, dude. And I went to shake his hand, and I don't know why, but as soon as I touched him, like, it just... My blood, dude, my hair stood up, and I just got so mad. And I remember just, like, I was like, fuck it. I just, like, pulled him and just O'd him, like, right across the face. And then he fell, and then I hit him, like, 3 or 4 times.
Ground
and I dragged him out to the street and just left him, like, in the middle of the street in the gutter. And then we'll just continue drinking my beer, like, fuck this guy.
WWE shit, right? You fake the handshake, you bring him in, boom.
Like a tag team?
Yeah.
We're a tag team, and then he clotheslined him?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm now on my own. We're no longer a tag team.
It was kind of a dirty thing, but, like,
what he did was a dirty thing.
Yeah, what he knew was coming.
See, there was a lot. You gave him a lot of warnings, like, I don't want to see you for a while. Well, first, don't call her, and I don't want to see you for a while, and even then, and then the dude came back. Because if I'm that dude, first of all, I wouldn't have seen him for a while. Second of all, if I did run into him at a party and I got through the handshake phase, I think I would have said, I'm out, and hope to not see you for a while still. And then, but see, it's like he wanted this to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, like, have you ever been in a situation like that where, like, you know what I mean? Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen so many movies, and I've been with friends, and, like, with the girls, you know, and there's a girl in between, and you guys are like, oh, I wonder, you know what I mean? But, like, in my eyes, I'm like a whatever kind of person. I'm like, oh, if you want that bad, then take it. You know what I mean? Like, no big deal. Like, I'm gonna go with the flow kind of person. But have you ever been in that kind of situation?
A little
like,
bit, yeah.
I feel
a long time ago, when I was really, really young and dumb. Right now, I'm just dumb.
Can I tell you how I wish that would have played out?
How?
What's your favorite pizza place?
Pizza place?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, like, I really like Domino's right now.
Okay. Here's how I wish it would have played out. You hear the voicemail, right? And you take that phone and text back, I'm fucking down. I've been looking at you for a long time. Motel 6, bring 2 pizzas because we're going to be there for a while. He walks into Motel 6, you're just sitting in that chair. What's up now?
Oh, my God.
You close that door, and it's on.
I actually...
You beat the shit out of him, and you eat his pizza, too. That's how I wish that
and then eat the pizza, make him watch the eat the pizza.
It's like scene from Animal House when the guy Otter goes to the door with the flowers. He's like, flowers for you. And it's just like all the frat guys waiting there to beat him up. He's like, oh, okay.
This is my life now.
but you know, it reminded me of like almost like I'm surprised George didn't go with like a Narcos reference because the way it really played out reminded me of some like like the Crime Boss movie where the guy the minion messes up, goes, boss, I messed up, and the boss you're like, oh crap, but the boss is like, no, it's cool, and you're like, oh, it's cool, it must be cool, and then the boss returns.
I actually have one more story that if you guys want to hear a funny story about that.
Let's do it.
But
man.
I'm like that when I'm pissed off, dude. I'm not a loud pissed off person. I'm a quiet pissed off person. So like people that know me really well, like I'm a loud. You know what I mean? If you see me like if you guys were all partying last night, you would see me how I am. You know what I mean? I'm loud. I'm always fucking laughing. Happy go lucky. But then when I'm mad, I'm super quiet. I don't talk. I don't think. I have what's on my mind. You know what I mean? And so like okay, so let me tell you the story. So that chick, the same chick,
again?
Yeah, this chick, dude. Oh my god, dude. This is only like the first maybe quarter of my life. So, me and this chick end up eventually like breaking up. I end up finding out she's cheating on me and stuff, so I end up breaking up with her. So we're not together. We're doing our own thing. She has this moving away part. She's gonna move away. So she was friends at the time. I was living with my friends Jason and Jared Butter, and I was living like in a little corner of a room. Like I'd pay my buddy $200 a month, and I had like a little twin bed and a closet, and that was like my part of the room. You know what I mean? And I think this is when I first started training, I believe, for fighting. I just started training. And so we break up. She's having a go-away party. Everyone's like, I was with my buddy Jason, his girlfriend Kaylee, who was friends with her. So they're like, oh, we're going to the party. Aren't you coming? And I was like, nah. They're like, why aren't you coming? I was like, I didn't get an invite. I'm like, if she wanted me to go, she would send me an invite. So I obviously don't belong. I'm not going to go. So she's like, they're both like, no, you should go, this and that, yada, yada. And I was like, nah. So then I purposely told them, like, if she sent me an invite, I would go. Like, I purposely said that because I knew that it would get back to her. And if she wanted me to go, she would tell me. Smart. So I did that. I never got the message. So later on, they're like, oh, we're going. I was like, cool, have fun, you know what I mean? They're like, just come. I was like, no. So they end up talking me into going. So I end up going, get to the bar. I'm having a drink. She comes in with her friend, gave me like the most awkward hug I've ever had from someone I've known so well in my entire life.
This where they do the thing with the
not even
hands?
like that. It was like a one-handed like that, like the one-handed reach around. Like I don't want to turn I don't want to face you. Like you know what I mean? So it was that, and immediately I'm like, I need to get out of here. I do not belong in this fucking place. I do not belong in this bar right now. And so we're hanging out, whatever. I'm hanging out with some friends. We're drinking. Everything's cool, right? The night rolls on. Later on, everyone's giving her like going away presents. And so one of the dudes that she was cheating on me was there, and I knew it was him, and I didn't like this guy, and I've been trying to kick his ass for like a long time because me and him had some beef when we were younger. And so one time he was at another friend's house of mine talking shit, saying how like he was punking me when we were younger, yada yada. So I was like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. So I went over to my buddy's house to kick his ass. And I was with her, and she was friends with his brother, so she was like mediating, like, no, like, don't be cool, like, he's my brother, or he's my best friend's brother, like, be cool, like, yada yada, this and that, don't cause trouble. And I was like, all right. So she had a little protection ring on this guy. So we're at this party, everyone's giving her presents, whatever, and it's one of his friends, me, and then him, and then she's right in front of me. And so he hands her this little bag, whatever, and it's got a shirt in it. So she pulls up her shirt, she's like, oh, thanks for the shirt, yada yada, gives the guy a hug. And his friend, who's right next to me, goes, oh, I know why you got her that shirt, so you can take it off her later. And so keep in mind, I already knew that these two were hooking up, you know what I mean, even while we were dating. So I was like trying to be like the bigger man, like, you know what I mean, like just let it go. So I turned to look to the guy. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like with my eyes, you know, I didn't say anything. I was just like, are you fucking serious?
And the friend knew that you two used to date.
Yeah,
okay.
And so the friend was just like, oh, fuck. Because he's one of those guys that gets drunk and says stupid shit, you know what I mean? One of those guys that just has too big of a mouth when he's drunk.
Right.
So he says that. I turn to look at him, and he's just like, oh, fuck. He turns and looks, and he basically just puts his head up and turns and looks away like, oh, who said that? You know what I mean? I turn to look around, and the dude that she was showing me with is fucking gone, like out of my sight, out of my vision, out of my reach. Like I don't even see the guy. And I look at her, and she's giving me the most guiltiest look in the world. So then I was just like, I just shrugged, you know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I broke up with you because I knew, so whatever, teach his own, have your own. So I go back to the bar, I'm drinking my drink. My buddy Jason, who took me over there, comes over all happy, like, oh, what's up, man? Like, fucking party's so fun, yada, yada. I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. He's like, what? I was like, I need to go. He's like, no, I just got a drink. I was like, let's go. And he, like, goes to drink his drink, and he puts it down. I was like, drink that now. He's like, no. I grabbed it. I was like, boom. I just slammed it, broke his glass. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fuck you. And we just left. I was so pissed. We just left. So I get back to my house. I get a call. It's my buddy Curtis. He's at the party still. "Where you at, man? Where you at?" I was like, "Oh, I'm at home." What the fuck are you doing at home? I was like, "I left, bro." He's like, "Didn't you just see what happened?" I was like, "Yeah, I was standing right there. Like, didn't you see me there?" So he's like, "Dude, you can't let this guy get away with that, yada yada." He's like, he's my friend that like, he's my friend where it's like I need to go fuck someone up, and he'll be like, "Okay, who's driving?" You know what I mean? He's that friend. So he's like, "You gotta fuck this guy up. You can't let this guy get away with that shit." He's like banging your chick. He's like rubbing in your face, this and that. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, you know, fuck that. I'll be right there, dude. Jumped on my street bike. I go over there.
The one in the Twitter page? That you're riding?
No, that's my Harley. No, it was a street bike I had a long time ago. I had a old CBR 600, a Honda. And so I ride that down there. I get there. Immediately when I get there, everyone knows why I'm there. So I go outside. He goes to run like behind his friends, who are all my friends too. We all went to school together. And like, they all know how I am. Like when I grew up, I was a fighter. Like if there was anything happen, like I like fighting, so I always got in fights. And like for the most part, it was like that story earlier where I would protect someone, or you know what I mean, protect myself, because I was always smaller too. I was never like the size I am. I was always like, I was tinier, and I think I was like $150. You know what I mean, like just a skinny little kid. So anyway, we're sitting there. I go back. He's hiding behind his friends. And my friend Curse is like, "Oh man, I'm so glad you're back. Like, oh man, I can't wait for this. Yada yada. What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "Nothing, dude. What do you mean?" He's like, "I knew you came to fuck this dude up." He's like, "Just beat this dude down." And I was like, "Whatever." So we're sitting there. I look around and I see the guy.
Curtis reminds me of Paul Heyman, and this guy's like Brock Lesnar. Like he fires them up a little bit. You know what I mean?
He did. He's my little hype man, my little Flavor Flav.
Does he walk around with like a megaphone or a tennis racket? Like
no, but he totally
like a manager.
He's one of those guys that could rock like a hat and glasses with a gold chain with a clock on it and shit.
Yeah.
And just be like out there behind you with a boombox and shit, fucking doing that kind of thing. He's totally like that. He's like a character. So I see the dude. He's hiding behind his friends. All his friends scatter and leave him in this corner. I just started laughing because then I do this to him like, "You're fucked. Like I came here for you. You know what I mean? Like you know now." So I'm talking to Curtis. Shane and my ex is trying to talk to me, distract me. And then he disappears. Curtis is like, "Shit, he's gone.
What is he, a magician? That's the second time he's done it.
Yeah.
Is he in the corner?
Yeah, and I was purposely standing by the door to get back inside. So he snuck behind me somehow without me noticing to get inside.
Wow, this guy's slick.
Yeah, and it's a door like this, but it slides. It's like that size, but slides.
Your peripheral vision is not good because Daffy Duck, remember, she was going everywhere, blasting you left and right.
Yeah, I know.
Like you could do the old trick, kind of like this to Vince.
Yeah.
And I go, "Wait, what
and
was
I try
that?
to look that way first.
What was that? You're just behind him going like this.
Yeah, someone will catch up to you.
Y'all, there it is. Okay, so he disappears. I'm like, shit. I turn and look, and I see him. He's in the bar. I'm like, okay, cool. It's the same. Obviously the same bar. So he walks in the bathroom. I'm like, perfect. Kurt's like, "I'm going to go in there with you. And I was like, no, just stay out here. I don't want no witnesses. He's like, all right. So I go in there. I'm in there, and there's urinals. You walk in. You go in, the door's like this, and then it L's, and there's like a little, I don't even know what area this is, but there's a couch there, and it's the bathroom.
In the
so
bathroom?
I have no fucking clue why that couch
fuck's
is there.
hanging out in there?
But there's a couch in this little area, and then you walk in, and there's the sinks, and the urinals, and then toilets. So he's
the couch is in the bathroom.
Yeah, in the bathroom. No clue why. In a men's bathroom. In this bar, in this like dive bar in Simi. So he's in the very far one. He was in there with his friend Jesse, who was all the way on the right, and then I went in between them. And there's like urinals between both of us, all the guys. So we're all pissing. I piss. I get out. I start washing my hands. Jesse pisses. He finishes. He starts washing his hands. And then me and Jesse are talking. And Jesse's like small talking me, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, you know, Jesse, you should take off now. And he's like, wow, what's going on? And I was like, oh, you should just go, like, get out of the bathroom. He's like, what? Why? I'm like, you should just get out of the bathroom, like, get out of the bathroom. And then he's like, what's going on? And I just, like, I didn't want to talk anymore, so I just grabbed him by, like, the back of his neck and his fucking pants and, like, kind of shoved him in the direction, like, get the fuck out. And then he walked out, and as he was walking out, I was like, lock that door. So he locks the door, shuts it, and so I'm in there. This dude, Jeff, is still at the urinal pretending like he's taking a piss for, like, 10 fucking minutes now as me and Jesse are bullshitting.
Vince, I will say this. I would have fallen out of this chair laughing if you would have told me that when you threw him and you turned around, that guy was gone again. You know what I mean? That would have been the ultimate. But
he's just in one of the stalls like a fucking
or he crawled up through the top or something, because he sounds like Leo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. I mean, you know what I mean? But go ahead. So
those times he did elude me, I was tripping out too, because I was like, damn. Like the one time he got behind me to get in the door, I was like, there's no way he got, like, there's no way. He must have jumped the wall and went in through the front door again. Like, I don't understand how he got behind me, because there's like such a small area. But anyway, so I'm like, what's up, dude? Like, I know you're not pissing, bro. Like, come on. You know I want to talk to you. Like, let's talk. So we're talking, and we're small talking, whatever. And then I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen, now I want to get to the real shit. Like, the outcome of what's going to happen here probably isn't going to change. Like, your answers aren't going to change what I'm going to do. I was like, but you know why we're in here? I was like, so just give me a straight answer. Like, be a man, tell me the truth. He's like, all right. And I was like, are you fucking seeing Shayna? He's like, yeah. And I was like, you been sleeping with her? He's like, yeah. And I was like, how long? And then he told me like something like a year or something like that. He said some crazy number, which we were still together. So I was like, all right. I was like, you ready? And then he's like, what? And I was, bam, I just cracked him. And he flew back, hit the wall, and was like falling, kind of like coming at me. And I thought he was coming at me, so I hit him with another combo. Like, I hit him with like an uppercut and a hook, and then I stepped to the side, and he just fell. But I didn't know he was already knocked out. He was just like, he hit the wall and was like falling forward. And so I just fucking hit him as he was falling down. He falls down, he starts snoring. I walk out. I go to the bar. I just start drinking my drink, like finishing my drink. My buddy Curtis comes up to me, and he's like, what happened? What happened? I was like, nothing. I just talked to him. And, you know, I was like, she's not my chick anymore. Like, it's not my place. I was kind of fucking with her, you know what I mean? And then he's like, dude, are you serious? You fucking came all this way just to be a fucking pussy and let this guy get away with that shit? And I'm like, dude, I was like, what do you want me to do, bro?
Curtis
like,
is the worst, huh?
I know, he is. He was, dude. But I was like, yeah, what do you want me to do, bro? And then all of a sudden, oh my God, there's so much blood. And Curtis is like, I knew it, I fucking knew it. He goes in there, like, he runs in there, and all I hear is, oh my God, it's a murder scene. And like, I just started laughing. So I walk back in there in the bathroom, and his friend Vic has him like, it looks like a scene out of like Full Metal Jacket where he's like dying and he's like holding him and he's like, why? And so he's like, look what you did. You're such a fucking asshole. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, dude, you played with fire, bro. Like, he just got burned. That's what happens. You know what I mean? Like, what'd you guys think I was going to do? You think I was going to have a fucking cup of tea with the guy and talk it out? Like, we were just going to hash out our differences? Like, fuck him, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll kick your ass too right now. Like, fuck all you guys. So then he starts.
Did you make him wash
up.
his hands first, by the way?
Who?
After he took the piss?
No.
Oh, you're a dirty savage.
Yeah. I let him have it. I'll pissed hand and all. But I didn't wash my hands either. you guys are going to fucking think this is pretty gross. But
so check this out, man. You ever hear that show, The OC?
The OC?
Yeah, back in the early 2000s.
Oh, was it
on
like
Fox?
Was it like that that Beverly Hills Housewife kind of show, like the first one of it, like one of the first versions of it?
Yeah.
No, that was
the OC, and it was like kids, but it was like kids,
like
right?
that.
Remember
yeah,
with Misha Barton and Benjamin something?
I think I do, where it was kids, right? It was like a group of kids.
Hey, really quick.
You
have that thing. You're good?
Oh, that's right. You got to go to that thing.
Remember, you got to be there.
Oh, no, we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, it's like I'm listening to this, and like his life is like Melrose Place and The OC and Beverly Hills.
Dude, I want to change his nickname to I only ask you twice, Pichel.
I think so, yeah.
They said it one way to be there. Oh my God.
Well, we're getting ready to wrap up. We're getting ready to wrap up.
Sorry, what'd you guys say?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you delivered, man. Those were some good stories.
Yeah.
But like I said, it all sounds like a plot, a TV show plot. You know, whatever's going on down there between you and your friends. Everybody knows each other and doesn't know each other. And
yeah, I really want to write a book. Like, I get a lot of people tell me I should write a book about my life because I have been through some crazy shit, and I've done some I've done some fucked up shit. I've been through some fucked up shit, but I've always came out on top and survived. And like, I always have a positive outlook. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I would just like to share the crazy stuff that I've been through and like the things that I've seen with people. I honestly really wish and can't wait for the day that technology is so advanced that we could turn like our memories into like videos. You know what I mean? Like, if that was possible, like I could show you guys some fucking crazy shit.
I subscribe to the Pichel channel.
Yeah, I download his app.
Dude, I would probably be like one of the #1s out there, dude. Like, such a popular channel if I could turn our memories into videos.
Well, thanks for sharing those.
No
thanks for
Thanks
stopping
for
by, and you know, whenever you do sign your fight for 2018, let's get back together and preview that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Hopefully later this year. Like I said, I was talking to Sean last night. He was cool. You know, I really like Sean and Joe Silva. Those guys really made me feel good. You know what I mean? Like, of all the time I've been off and injured and what have you, they've always made me feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, take care of yourself, do what you got to do, and you know what I mean? We're here. Like, we're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause there's so many guys that get cut for who knows what reasons. You know what I mean? Like, there's hundreds of different reasons why people get cut, and they haven't cut me, so that makes me feel really good and like super appreciative of that. You know what I mean?
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, you've had a good career with them. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I've tried.
Keep doing your thing, Vince.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again. If you ever find yourself in Vegas, come back, man. We love having you.
Oh, I will for sure.
And you do a great job with Adam on Roasted, and that was cool for you to give him a shout out too.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
all
he
right,
was so
folks.
stoked about that.
He was, yeah. That's our show for today. I want to thank Vince Pichel, Ray Cooper, Yves
you guys.
Edwards, Jhenny Andrade, and Curtis Millender. Tomorrow we will have Bruce Buffer, Art Davey, Sean Wheelock, Dan Henderson, and Dave Manley. So we'll see you then. For Danny and Dan and Goes and Jill and Stephanie, right? And Vince.
Yeah.
And the Sanchez brothers are in town. Just one Sanchez brother? Just one, okay. And then I don't know where our fight coordinator went, or site coordinator went.
Jhenny Andrade.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, I'm George. Have a nice day. Go out there and be a champion.
Hours in the day,